Game 3. We'll give you a look again at games 1 and 2, how it happens that Montreal leads 2-0. We'll talk with the Bruins about the Game 2 loss and with both clubs as they look forward to this third meeting. Dave Shea has an update on the other 3 division title series. It's Game 3 tonight between the Flyers and Penguins. Dave will talk with Bruin defenseman Glenn Wesley. And Steve Burton checks in with feature looks at Montreal coach Pat Burns and his KISS approach to hockey, and at Patrick Roy, who has been outstanding in goal for Canadiens. These stories and more on Nesson's Bruins Digest. And to put another banner up there, the Bruins are going to have to come back with a 2-game deficit in this Adams Division Championship Series against the Montreal Canadiens. But the Bruins are back home, and they and their some 14,000 plus fans who are just now filing into Boston Garden are hoping for better stuff than what went on up at the Forum in Montreal. Hello again, everybody. I'm Tom Larson. This is Bruins Digest on Nesson. Fred Cusick, Eric Sanderson, and Dave Shea, of course, will be along with the play-by-play of Game 3 about 30 minutes from now. You are well aware of the situation, of course. Montreal is up 2-0 after 3-2 and 3-2 wins up at their place. They were 2 outstanding games, and on balance, the Bruins played some excellent hockey up there. But, bottom line, 0-2. Before Game 3 tonight, here is a look back at Games 1 and 2. When the Bruins bounced Buffalo from the postseason and Canadiens did the same to Hartford, the stage was set again. Boston, Montreal in the playoffs, almost an annual rite of spring in these parts. And when the pairing was official, thoughts of this instantly came to mind. Could the again underdog Bruins repeat last year's performance and beat the again favored Canadiens? The odds makers said no. They may have changed their minds during the series opener at the Forum. The black and gold opened in a defensive frame of mind and took advantage of their first shot on goal.
Haley on the wing for Carter. Carter over the line, the shot scored! John Carter! First shot on net by either team, but Cam Neely makes it 1-0 Boston.
But the Habs rebounded, taking advantage of the painfully few mistakes made by the visitors, letting goaltender Patrick Roy carry the rest of the load. Game 1, Canadiens 3, Bruins 2, with the Bees playing nearly a flawless game. The locals may have wondered what else they could do in order to beat the Habs. 2 nights later, Game 2, this time with Reggie Lemelin in goal for the Bruins. No change for Montreal, and again, no apparent change in the game plan for either side. Boston concentrated on the defense. The Habs waited for a break. Pat Burns' club got that break in this one. They scored first as Claude Lemieux beat Lemelin for a 1-0 Montreal lead. Erased in the second period by this Bob Joyce goal. And in period 3, talk of a split began. Randy Burridge put the Bees ahead 2-1 with a 10-footer past Roy. Combine that with a spectacular play of Lemelin, and Boston's confidence soared. But with 6 minutes left.
Over the line and fires and hits the post. And then over there. A goal by Gilford. The hit him and went in. Gloved in, says Lemelin. No, says Frazier. They put it up. Shea hit the post.
Harry Frazier's not going to get the Bruins a break on this.
So it was 2-2 to overtime. Both clubs had their chances, but the home team sent their fans home happy.
Oh, the Smith behind the net. Smith wheels in front. Walked out in front, scored, and the Canadiens win 3-2. 7:36 left in the first overtime.
Canadiens 3-2 winners in sudden death. They lead the series 2-0. The Bruins now have to win 4 out of 5. Can they do it? Remember last year? But the Bruins now have faced Montreal a total of 10 times this year. They have yet to win even one. The breakdown is 9 Montreal wins. There has been 1 tie. It's a little difficult to generate optimism with numbers like that smacking you in the face. But the Bruins don't feel like they're out of this thing yet.
Well, it's tough to take when you're so close. No, I'd rather work hard and be close like that than being embarrassed. That's for sure. But it's disappointing. I mean, hockey's made a lot of out of a lot of highs and lows, and this is definitely a big low.
We had just as much chance as they did as winning, and I think we went in there and showed them that we could hang in there, and more importantly, we showed ourselves that on any given night we can beat them. And I think that was maybe in the back of everybody's minds at the beginning of the series that they were a tough team, but I think we went in there and executed our game plan as well as we could. And like you say, it could just as easily be Boston 2-0 coming back here, but still have to win 4 games to win the series. So there's 5 more left, and hopefully we can win 4 of them.
We have to get one away from, trying to switch that momentum.
There are similar battles going on around the National Hockey League, of course. Philly-Pittsburgh in Game 3 of that series tonight. And the Smythe and the Norris Division titles are being decided, too, between Calgary and Los Angeles and Chicago and St. Louis. Now, what that means is that only 2 regular season division champs managed to survive the opening round. NESN's Dave Shea now has our playoff update. David?
Happy times in Penguin Land as the Pens and Flyers face off in the first ever Pennsylvania playoff. This Game 1 goal by Brian Propp gave Philly a 3-1 second period lead. But the Penguins would rally to tie it. And then at 13:26 of the third period, Rob Brown will score from the slot, his 3rd playoff goal, and the Penguins take Game 1 4-3. Now Game 2, delayed an hour because of a power failure. Sound familiar? Well, the lights came back on, and Philadelphia's Tim Kerr turned on the power as well. Kerr with a natural hat trick and a 3-1 Flyers lead through 1 period. Second period, the Penguins get 1 shorthanded. Guess who does the honors? Mario Lemieux slips one past Ron Hextall. It's 3-2. But before the period is over, Brian Propp breaks in and scores. That's your hockey game. The Flyers tie the series at 1 with a 4-2 win. Now on to the Norris Division Finals. Alain Chevrier and the upstart Chicago Blackhawks in St. Louis. Game 1, early 3rd period, Troy Murray leaves the puck for Steve Thomas, and he'll beat Greg Millen through a screen, 2-1 Hawks. Then it'll be Trent Yanni off the faceoff. A slow pitch shot slips by Millen, 3-1 Chicago. Chevrier, meanwhile, continued his fine goaltending, leading the Hawks to a win in Game 1. Game 2 went to double overtime, tied at 4. Tony Herkes from the slot will score. And the series will move on to Chicago, tied at 1 game each. Well, they're making noise in Calgary. Smythe Division Finals, the Flames and Kings. LA had a 3-2 lead late in Game 1, but check the bounce off the boards. Gary Roberts seizes the opportunity and scores to tie the game at 3. The best hit of overtime coming up. It was an accident, actually. Dana Merzen and Joe Nieuwendyk with this chance meeting. Oops. Both players were okay. Then Marty McSorley will fan on the pass in front. Colin Patterson to Doug Gilmour. It's all over. The Flames take Game 1, 4-3 in overtime. Now on to Game 2, just 58 seconds in. Patterson will finish off this rush and give Calgary a quick 1-0 lead. Now with the score 2-0, watch the checking by Joey Mullen. It results in this Doug Gilmour goal and a 3-0 Flames lead, and Calgary is off and running. Now check out this play in front. Mike Vernon jabs Bernie Nichols, and Nichols cold cocks Vernon. Down goes Vernon, but play will continue at the other end. Al McInnes will score, but Mr. Gretzky and the Kings thought the play should have been stopped. But the goal stands. Vernon was okay after all, and this save coming up on Wayne Gretzky will prove it. Roberts will finish off the scoring for Calgary. He'll beat Glenn Healy, and the Flames leap out to a 2-0 lead in their series. 8-3, the final score in Game 2. Calgary wins it going away.
Patrick Roy may or may not be in goal for the Canadiens in Game 3 tonight. It is conceivable we could see Brian Hayward for Canadiens, but it was Roy in the first 2 games, and the man was simply excellent. Steve Burton has more on Montreal's number 33. The Bruins Digest continues on NESN. Garden, the Bruins hope will help pull them through to a first victory in this series against the Montreal Canadiens. Bruins postseason record here at the Garden, 2 wins, 1 loss. On the road, they are even up at 2 wins, 2 losses. Their date with the Canadiens here at Boston Garden tonight is the first one here in this series. And the hope is that the crowd will function as an extra man to help pull the Bruins through to a win. That this series headed the other way. During the regular season, Pat Burns used his number 2 goaltender Brian Hayward on the road a lot. Well, that would be okay with the Bruins because Patrick Roy has been just amazing in games 1 and 2. Steve Burton has more. Steve?
Montreal goaltender Patrick Roy hasn't lost a game at home all season. Unbelievable? Not in Roy's mind. His secret to success is mental imagery. With a 29-0-4 record at the Forum, you don't question whether it works or not.
Carter off for Galley. Galley over the line. Holding. Moving well. Shoots. Save. Raw. Oh, what a stop he made.
Right after the national anthem, I turn around and I look at my net and feel like my net is smaller and it's my vision and I feel comfortable with this.
Comfortable? There's no question about that, as Roy has just completed his 4th straight 21 season. He's become literally unbeaten at home, but refuses to take all the credit for his success.
I think it's team strength. The guys play extremely well every game. I was in goal at the Forum, and I think they're the big reason why I didn't have a loss in Montreal.
Well, he's the best goalie in the league as far as I'm concerned. There's no doubt about it there. He's proved it all during the season. His record by itself says so. You know, I say, oh yeah, but Canadiens is a good defensive team. But we've made some defensive mistakes in the past, and he's always picked up any kind of mistake that we've ever made.
The mistakes the Habs do make are few and far between. But when they do occur, Roy's teammates feel the Habs netminder sees them before they happen.
He has a good idea of what's going on the ice, not just as far as being a goalie, but he knows most of the player, what kind of shot they're gonna use, what kind of play they're gonna try, and he talks a lot to his defensemen and forward, try to know exactly what the other team is gonna do.
Number 33 seemed to know what Hartford was going to do. He racked up 3 wins against the Whalers in the opening round of the playoffs, and now has 2 more with victories over Boston. Nonetheless, he knows he can't afford to take the black and gold for granted.
When you play against a team like Boston, you're going to respect that team. They're a great team, and you got to show up every night to play a hard game. And I think the big point is win the game, and the streak's going to keep going.
Looking for Neufeld, a backhander right on, a save. And Neufeld comes out of the corner, a shot, a save, a backhander again, a save, a loose puck.
Whether at home or away, Roy's confidence is sky high. He's only lost 5 games all season. He was 20 years old when he won his first Stanley Cup, and now at age 23, he feels he's in the right frame of mind to win it again. For New England Sports Network, I'm Steve Burton.
All right, Steve, thank you. In game 1 of this series, the Bruins played just outstanding defense, but could not take advantage of their own scoring chances to bring off a win. Patrick Roy had a lot to do with that, too. In game 2, Reggie Lemelin was at least Roy's equal, but one missed assignment in overtime meant another 3-2 loss. Now, the Boston defense will, again tonight, be a key. Dave Shea now standing by with the Bruins' Greg Johnston. David?
All right, Tom, thank you. Greg, being down 0-2, it's kind of like looking down the barrel of a gun. You've got to win tonight.
Yeah, tonight's a big game for us. We definitely have to come out and take this one and go from there. It's pretty tough to come back from 3-0. It's been done, but we'd like to come back from 2-1 instead of 3-0.
How would you describe the mood of this club, the temperament? Nervous, tight, antsy, confident? How?
I think a little antsy and confident, and sort of you can combine those two anyway, but I think we're still confident. We know we played well in Montreal. It could easily be 1-1, even 2-0 for us. It's not, though. We have to go out tonight, play the same way, but capitalize on our offensive chances and get the win.
Yeah, certainly you had tremendous opportunities in game 1. You had a lot in game 2, but they totally turned around their effort from game 1. They were far more offensive-minded in game 2, or was it that you were less defensive-minded?
No, I think they definitely played better in the second game. I think they felt us out, wanted to see how we'd do in the first game, and they kind of got the feel for the way we were going to play and knew what they had to do, and they came out and played a stronger game. I think we played better as well in the second game.
All right, looking at the fact that the Bruins play at about as good a brand of hockey as they're capable of playing, Greg, played your style, played the game plan the way you wanted it played, and still came out 0-2. Do you open it up a little bit tonight? Do you take more chances offensively? You got to do something to get a few more than 2 goals a night.
Well, I don't think we're going to change too much. We're on a smaller ice surface now, and I think the defense, we definitely still have to key on our defense against the Canadiens. I think with a smaller ice surface, we're going to get more offensive chances, just that we're going to be on them that much quicker and forecheck that much harder.
You know, a year ago, the jinx ended. That is, the long-standing playoff consecutive series losses to Montreal came to a close, but on the other hand, the jinx has not ended, Greg. That is, Montreal seems to make its breaks. They got a couple in Game 2, and it ended up being a victory for them. Does that kind of haunt you guys?
No, I don't think so. We beat them last season, and we feel confident we could beat them again this year. I think it's going to go 7 games, and hopefully we win the 7th.
Well, certainly the crowd should be something that works for you tonight. I would think it's ultimate, though, to get that first goal against Montreal and not have to play catch-up. Get this crowd involved early. Yeah, we've got to get the first goal, and we have got to get the killer goal after we get that. We've got to get them down 2 and go from there. And I think once we do that, we'll see a different Canadian team where they get a little bit uptight and tighten up a bit. Yeah, they certainly have that killer instinct. When they know they've got a chance to put you away, they usually do. Yeah, they've done pretty well at that. We got to get that instinct back into us. All right, good luck tonight, Greg. Thanks a lot. Greg Johnson, our guest, huh?
All right, David, thank you. You know, a real good question is, how has Montreal managed to become one of the favorites to win the Cup this year after falling by the wayside so early last year? Well, new coach Pat Burns just has to be a part of the reason. We have more on that, too, when NESN's Bruins Digest continues, live from Boston Garden on your New England Sports Network. Some guests appearing on NESN's Bruins Digest receive a gift from Casio, makers of the Casio Color TV 400. 2-inch screen and built-in speaker wherever you go. Favorite programs and instant replays are in the palm of your hand. Casio's TV 400. Admittedly, it's a little bit difficult to believe at this point in the hockey season, but back in late October and early November, the very early stages of this season, the Canadiens were struggling, and Pat Burns had the Montreal press on his case, and seriously. But they went through the regular season with only 18 losses, and now in the postseason, they haven't lost yet. 4 in a row over Hartford, and now the first 2 up the Forum against the Boston Bruins. Burns now is a hero. His secret is the KISS theory of hockey, which is keep it simple, stupid. Steve Burton has more.
Hockey is as difficult as you make it. You know, I think that the game is played on a nice surface with a puck and a stick.
With that simple work ethic, Pat Burns has in one season changed the Montreal Canadiens from a group of talented individuals into a team specializing in counterattack. A king cobra on skates, if you will, sitting back on the defensive until there becomes an opening to strike.
But it's Svoboda there to keep it in. Now it is Skrudland. McPhee behind the net. McPhee able to put it in front and score! Lemieux! Lemieux a backhander from McPhee to make it 3-1.
This is what I said, Fred.
We've always been a great team, but a few times in the past we were missing discipline, and we brought a team spirit to this team. We didn't. I think we had a few groups, but we didn't have one team, and now we're one big team, and everyone is playing together. Everyone is having fun, and he brought a lot of good things to our team.
Well, I'm not a person that would say that it's a hockey technician, as you call them, these doctors of hockey. I think what's important is to go out and do hard work and get everybody pulling together and have a good team effort from everybody. And you know, if a coach can keep 80% of his players happy, well, you have pretty well the job done. You know.
And Burns has more than done his job and done it all his way. However far the Habs go this year, they will do so playing as a single unit, playing Pat Burns' brand of hockey. Skating, hustling hockey. You give it all you've got when you're on the ice, whether you're a superstar or not.
Well, that's the way it is. I mean, it shouldn't be who you are by what you do that you don't play. he doesn't, doesn't pick his spots and doesn't pick his guys. If you're not producing, then you shouldn't be on the ice, and that's the way it is.
He's a gutsy coach. He's not scared. If he has to lose one game because he's not satisfied with his player, he'll do it. But I think he knows how to handle a bunch of guys, and he showed it so far this year.
And boy, has it showed. The Canadiens have responded to Burns' firm control with the most points in club history since 1979. The ex-cop is tough, but he's not relentless.
There's time to work and there's time to play, and that's the only thing that the guys have to understand. When is it time to work and when is it time to play? And when they get off track, you got to grab them and put them back on track.
He's tough when he has to be, and he lets off when he doesn't have to be, and he's fair with the guys, and I think that's all that you can ask is him to be fair and open, and he doesn't hold a grudge. And if you make a mistake and you get chewed out one game, it's over, and the next game you get a fresh new start, and that's all you can ask for in a coach.
It was Montreal 3-2 in Game 1, Montreal 3-2 in overtime in Game 2, both games at the Forum, and tonight the Bruins try to hand Pat Burns' club their first loss in the postseason, but at the same time bring this whole series back into range. This is Nesson's Bruins Digest, live from Boston Garden. We have more coming up on your New England Sports Network. Since Bruins Digest, receive a gift certificate from Carton's Jewelers, who feature Tissot watches. Tissot, Swiss quality time and cartons, the best the world has to offer at 15 convenient locations throughout New England. Well, except that the Bruins have some work to do if they're still going to be playing hockey in May. For now, we would take Mr. April. Just a couple of minutes until the start of Game 3. Now, the Bruins hope to be able to keep up the defensive effort that they've been able to show against Canadiens in the first two games, and at the same time to pick up the attack on the Montreal goal. Montreal expects the Bruins to put the puck on the net, send 3 folks after the rebound. Now, before the opening face-off for Game 3, some thoughts about what to look for from both sides.
We just want to keep playing the style that we're playing, keep working hard, and, eventually the breaks are going to go our way. Both those games could have went our way, but the bounces went their way, and they got the 2 wins.
We are fortunate, and we realize that, but we're going to be a better hockey club tonight.
You can't sort of open it up against them because they really have talented players, and we're just going to try and stay defensive-minded, but we also got to get the offense going a little bit, too.
Everyone's drawing on the positive things, and the way we played and the style of our play and our game plan, and we're not going to change a thing. Play a little bit more intense, and now with the home ice in our favor, hopefully we can come away with a couple of victories.
Our biggest worry were the first 2 games at home, and now that is over. Now we have to win in here. So, like I said, we've been successful in this building, and I think everyone is ready to play their best game.
Being at home with our fans here and their dislike for Montreal Canadiens, it's going to work to our advantage. And
I think we're really confident.
I think we still feel real confident.
We haven't won anything yet.
Everyone's confident.
Oh yeah, we're confident.
One very unusual stat on the last 7 games that these two teams have played in the playoffs, the 5 last year and the 2 this year. They were combined 0 for 49 on the power play in the 5 games last year, and so far in the 2 games this year, the figure is 1 for 12. That is 1 power play goal scored in 61 opportunities. Well, it's Game 3. The Bruins badly needing a win, and we have the game for you here on Nesson. I'm Tom Larson. That is tonight's Bruins Digest. Now, stand by for Boston Bruins hockey.
The line and fires and hits the post, and now it rolls in. A goal by Gilford. The Hamilton went in. A glove gloved in, says Lemon. No, says Frazier. They tied it up. Richey hit the post.
Harry Frazier's not going to get the Bruins a break on this.
It's official. The ghosts at the Montreal Forum are alive and well. If you didn't believe that before Game 2, you were convinced when Brent Gilchrist redirected the puck past Reggie Lemelin to tie the game at 2 late in the 3rd period. The game went into overtime. where Lemelin shined for more than 12 minutes of pressure-packed play. But one lapse would prove fatal for Reggie and the Bees.
Kept in by Courtnall. Courtnall to Smith behind the net. Smith wheels in front. Walked out in front, scored, and the Canadiens win 3-2.
Stanley Cup overtime knows no forgiveness. The Montreal Canadiens, when given a golden opportunity, show no mercy. The scene shifts now to the more familiar and friendly confines of Boston Garden for games 3 and 4. It was here a year ago, almost to the day, that the Bruins, behind the extraordinary work of Reggie Lemelin, took 2 straight from Montreal on their way to a 5-game series win over their longtime playoff nemesis. Tonight, we're back on Causeway Street. Lemelin is back in goal, and the black and gold are looking for a repeat performance. The Bruins are down 0-2, but certainly not out. We need only look back on this year's first-round series with the Sabres. The Bruins won 4 in a row after dropping Game 1. And once again, recalling last year, the Bruins took 4 straight from Montreal under similar circumstances. Tonight, a Bruins win and hopes for a long series will stay alive. A loss, and the road to the Stanley Cup Finals will look more and more like a U-turn to a dead end. Up next, it's Game 3 of the Adams Division Finals, and it's live on Nesson. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Boston Garden for Game 3, the first of 2 this weekend between the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. I'm Dave Shea, and when you look at the key to this game, it's the key to the series, the goaltending. Of course, playoff time, defense and goaltending does rule, and goaltending in this series has been outstanding. Unfortunately for the Bruins, Patrick Roy has been a little more outstanding than Andy Moog in Game 1 and Reggie Lemelin in Game 2. The Bruins feel that, hey, we ended the jinx a year ago. We know how to beat Montreal. And certainly, after watching the first 2 games, it could have gone either way. However, it didn't. Montreal is up 2-0. The Bruins tonight have to change a few things. Not outwardly, not to the point where they change a whole style of play, but they have to take a few more chances. After all, they threw what they had for their best at Montreal and came away with 2 losses. That didn't work. Something else has to beat either Patrick Roy or Brian Hayward. There's the key. Reggie Lemelin in goal tonight for Boston, but so far, Pat Burns is treating his goaltending as top secret stuff. He has not yet announced who the goaltender will be. For what it's worth, Brian Hayward played Game 3 of the first series, his only appearance in the playoffs. Patrick Roy has played the other 5. This morning at practice, Brian Hayward practiced. Patrick Roy did not. We're just going to have to wait and see who Pat Burns sends out there to start the game when the team show up for the starting horn. For a closer look at this one, let's go up to the booth right now with Fred and Derek.
Thank you, Dave, and the center of attention. Well, Craig Janney for the Boston Bruins for sure, even though he's just a rookie, and Bobby Smith for Montreal. Craig Janney, first of all, seems to crank it up in the playoffs, play better in the playoffs than regular season, and his point total indicates that.
Well, his point total is definitely there. I think that has a lot to do with everybody cranking it up. Craig Janney has the ability, whenever he plays, to move the puck successfully. He's been winning the face-offs with greater ease in the last few games, and I'm impressed with that. He's concentrating on the game. When you have a centerman winning draws, it's impressive.
And for sure, Pat Burns will want to check him with Guy Carbonneau, but Terry O'Reilly has the last move.
Tonight in Boston, that is going to be a big key move. What they'll do is maybe make the quick line changes, get Carbonneau on that line. We're going to have to see how Pat Burns plays it.
And, of course, Bobby Smith. He's the hero, but a good record for him.
Bobby Smith has a tremendous reach. He works very hard, and he's just somebody that you've got to constantly be aware of. He works well with Matt Naslund, and that together is enough offense to win any hockey game. Bobby Sweeney may get the assignment on Bobby Smith.
And you look at the overall record, 128 games for Bobby Smith, and he has 124 points. I think that's very significant. I know I go heavy on that stat.
You love that stat, but it is an impressive one. A point a game in the Stanley Cup competition means you're a player. It means you're a money player. And Bobby Smith is definitely going to have to be shut down if the Bruins are going to have any success against the Canadiens.
And already they're starting to cheer. Reggie Lemelin here, you can hear them in the background. A very enthusiastic crowd, which of course should help the Boston Bruins. Opening face-off in just a minute.
Presentation of Boston Bruins Stanley Cup hockey is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, with that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Nissan, building cars for people who want more than just a means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race. And by Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Centers, because family spirit is what Sullivan is all about. And by your New England area Century 21 offices. Put your trust in #1, Century 21. And by Chevy dealers of New England. Start where more people end up. Buy a Chevy today. Welcome back to the Boston Garden, everyone. Back just in time for Mr. Rene Rancourt to sing the Canadian and the American national anthems.
The true north, strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. We stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Get himself.
All right. This crowd is ready. Rene was ready. Let's take a look at the officials for tonight's game. Don Koharski will be your referee. Gordy Brossiker and Ron Finn, the linesman. The backup referee is Ron Hogarth. In goal for the Montreal Canadiens, Patrick Roy. 5-0 in Stanley Cup competition. He has been sensational. And at the other end of the ice, Reggie Lemelin, who was sensational in his own right in Game 2. 38 saves for Reggie. Derek, I think the Bruins are going to have to take a few chances, gamble a little bit offensively, see if they can't break out of the zone and spring a couple.
Well, I look for that to happen, but I wouldn't say in the first period. You're going to have to, you don't want to get down early. This is just too solid a defensive hockey club, the Canadiens.
We're on the way. It's back to Ludwig. He's on defense with Chelios. And cleared out, stopped by Wesley. Put back in. Chelios, the quick clear out, hit by Burridge, who finished off the check. But it's back in the Boston zone. Ray Bourque with it. He's on defense with Glenn Wesley. Bruins move it out, but the Canadiens check the play. McPhee to Chelios to Ludwig, and back to center ice to Lemieux. Lemieux over the line. Still moving. Checked all the way and finally broken up. But the puck stays on the boards until Burridge cleared it out. And the Canadiens control the immediate start of the game. Sweeney trying to get free. And let's see. High stick is called. Skrudland.
Good call, Fred.
It's Ray Bourque going out.
Skrudland's hoping he's bleeding, obviously. This has become the in thing now. You catch a stick.
It is.
Check for blood.
Get that blood in here somehow. They're even got Koharski from 20 feet away telling all the fans it's only 2. Don't panic.
Right there.
There it is there.
Boston's Ray Bourque.
Well, 41 seconds into the game, and the Bruins are shorthanded.
Ever notice referees get booed when they come in here? Years of
tradition.
Tough calls. In Montreal, they don't do anything. Yeah, okay, another referee, good.
Ray Bourque out for high sticking Brian Skrudland 41 seconds into the first period. A power play for Montreal. And Bobby Smith is out with Naslund and Keane. And Keane has been a bright addition to the team. Not a scorer, but a good man in the corners and brought up by Pat Burns when Burns came out of the minor leagues from Sherbrooke. At left wing Naslund and Smith at center, and Chelios drives it right in. Shot right on. And Kelvin drives it right out. Naslund starts back. Now Bobby Smith. That could be icing. They wave it off. He was a good yard in back of the red line. And back to Svoboda. Kept it in now to Naslund. Naslund holding to Svoboda. Along the line for Chelios. Svoboda watched by Brickley. It's up for Naslund. Naslund for Svoboda. The shot blocked by Lemlin. Just got it on the right pad. Might have been wide, but he couldn't take a chance. Now it rolls in behind the net. Kelvin fighting for it. Bourque in the penalty box. A power play Montreal. Smith checked by Peterson, but Keane keeps it in. Keane holding. He's not the playmaker, though, and that's his role here. Gets it to Smith. Smith behind the net with a big reach. Can't put it in front. He's broken up by Peterson, and Peterson clears it. Boston changes up. Chelios for Smith, who stayed on. Fires, save. Rebound is Sweeney, and he clears it out. Burridge after Chelios. And they rule a high stick on Chelios and a face-off in the Montreal zone. 36 seconds left on the Montreal power play.
Peter Svoboda picked it off at the blue line. I didn't think it was shoulder high.
Oh, as Fred mentioned, I didn't think Bobby Smith was across the red line or even in the neighborhood, as they like to say.
But that is so that the intent is there. Okay, they're only going to shoot it in. They seem to call the icing when the guys are tired. They don't call it consistently with gaining the red line. They just call it if it's in the general flow of play. I didn't think it was an interpretation call. If you're outside the red line, call it.
Terry O'Reilly trying to outfox Pat Burns tonight now that Pat has come to Terry's house. What a job Pat Burns has done. This is his first year in the league. It's playoff style hockey for him all year long.
Sweeney and Burridge, the penalty killers. Walter on the faceoff with Sweeney to the right of Roy. To Burridge, quick shot, and it's deflected wide by Svoboda. Corson winding up now. Chelios still out there. Now Svoboda on the power play. The long pass missed, and Wesley drives it away. Down to 20 seconds now. Lemieux winding up. Now to Chelios. Chelios center ice. Svoboda. Long shot, save Lemlin. And a whistle, the play offside.
Walter, not a fighter, but he's not one to back down either. He doesn't mind sticking his nose in there and stirring it up.
Tough kid. Randy Burridge, the two of them got teamed up. Randy Burridge took an extra run at Chelios far into the building. He's looking to hit tonight. Bruins are on the puck quickly. They continue that. The Canadiens, with their discipline, are looking to pass it to the open man. It's something that you think about passing the puck too much, and then you start to stand still a little bit. The Canadiens, I think, are extremely dangerous when they're skating. If they're flying, then you got your hands full.
And their captain, Bob Gainey, returns to action. He did not play in the first 2 games, and he's at right wing with Carbonneau and Walter. And Kelvin takes it deep, killing off time. And fires it out. Robinson with it, and Bourque comes out. Robinson taps it in. Kelvin there. Lost it to Walter. shot, a save by Lemlin. That was right on as the Bruins failed to clear it. Gainey is at right wing. I don't think we've ever seen him in that position, and they want Walter on Neely, and Walter has done a very effective job on Neely. Right now, that line is not out there, of course, the Janney-Neely situation. That's what most unusual to see Gainey playing at right wing. Walter stays at left wing, clears it out and takes a hit from Neely. Wesley flipped it back in, might be icing. It is.
Same call.
Boston nothing, Montreal nothing. We're in the first period at the Garden.
Michael Talbot had dumped this off his backhand. A very alert play by Walter to pick it up, a quick turnaround. Bob Sweeney got on the original part of the shot, overrode the puck, and then Walter continued with the puck. He's focused. He'll be a concern.
Pat Burns has the checking line out there, and the Bruins go with the Carpenter line. So O'Reilly with the last move doesn't have to put Janney and Neely on against Carpenter. And right now, Bork starts it away with Neufeld and Joyce. Neufeld the clear in. Lost it. Neufeld put it in front, and Joyce couldn't capitalize. Bruins might have had a chance there, dropping Roy out of the net. Did not pay off. Ray Bork clears it up, but Robinson starts it right back. Away now to Courtnall. Courtnall broken up, but it's picked up by Richer. He's in and he scores! Richer walked in after Courtnall was broken up. Nobody covered him. 1-0 Montreal.
This is that broken play that you're going to see Richer, who just came off the bench. The Bruins, very intense. They're on the puck. See all 5 of them? Right in that area. Richer skips around the outside, and Deadly makes a quick shot on Lemelin's stick side. Let Reggie believe he was going to go upstairs, but watch him, just drags it and snapped it off both posts.
Well, you go back to the other end. Bruins opportunity, missed their opportunity. The Canadiens, ever so opportunistic, get a chance and convert it.
You got to play your position, and that's your side of the building, and you got to have a winger over on this side. Don't be chasing the puck around.
Well, the Bruins don't have a shot yet, and that's the way Montreal plays. Plays it tight on the road, waits for a break. They capitalized, and they lead 1-0. And now they make it tough. As Neely gets it over the line, Neely trying to put it in front. It's knocked out to center ice. Kelvin drives it back in. 1-0 Montreal. Fighting for it is Carter and Neely. Chelios gets away. Chelios gets away from Neely. Gets it off to Lemieux. Lemieux a long shot, a save by Lemlin. Another shot by Lemieux as he was set up by Skrudland, misses. A drive here by Ludwig, misses. And behind the net, fought for it. And the Canadiens dominate here in the first 5 minutes. They have 5 shots. Here's another one. And this is deflected high. Skrudland. McPhee with the shot deflected into the stands. 1-0 Montreal, back in a moment. 5 minutes played. Montreal in control. They have 5 shots. A shot a minute and 1 went in. Richer. And the assist went to Ross Courtnall and Larry Robinson, the time at 4:06. The Bruins all went for the puck when Courtnall was broken up, figuring they were going to attack, and Richer was able to walk in from the blue line. Bork out for Carpenter, right wing. His shot blocked, deflects away, and the Canadiens' Courtnall comes right back. Courtnall snaps it in, back for Galley. Galley clearing into the stands on a face-off call, and immediately the Canadiens have taken the crowd out of the game.
This copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by the Boston Bruins solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts or descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Boston Bruins is prohibited. That's exactly what Greg Johnston and I were talking about before the game, how important that first goal was going to be, especially from a Boston viewpoint, to get this crowd really whipped up and into it. And they were whipped up before the puck.
Yeah, they were enthusiastic. It's a broken play. Nice play by Courtnall at the blue line. Too many guys looking for the puck. Nobody looking for the open man. Positional play.
Montreal has featured defense all season long. That got them their great record, second to Calgary's. And they're able to protect the 1-0 lead. Bruins trying to get a shot away, and Galley works it up to the line. It's broken up by Corson. Bruins can't penetrate. Burridge tries with Crowder. Off the Crowder, the shot deflected high. Around the boards, fought for it. Sweeney moves it in deep. A hit on Green by Crowder. Green handling 2 men. Trying to move it out, can't. It is Sweeney moving it in, stopped by Green. Green gets it away, and Svoboda breaks it out. Now for Corson. Corson checked by Galley. They go hard to the corner, and Sweeney with it. Around the boards, trying to move it out. Picked up by Bork. Bork up the middle. Off round for Galley. Galley. Pass in, but only Green there. No Bruin. And the puck cleared right out by Montreal. They will sit on a 1-0 lead like a team you wouldn't believe. And they're doing it now. The Bruins trying to move in. Check from the play. It's knocked to center ice. Picked up by Smith. For Naslund. Checked by Telvin, and Carpenter winds up. Bruins without a shot on net. That's Boston Garden. 13:30 left in the first period. Robinson wheels it back in. Telvin starting out. A pass missed. Smith breaks it up. Hooked down by Joyce. Joyce pops it out. Robinson right there to drive it back in. And the Bruins have to start again. Keane is the first forechecker. Now Wesley. Wesley away to Joyce. Joyce with Neufeld going deep. Hit by Robinson and stopped on the play. The puck in deep. Neufeld with it. Trying to make the play from the corner. Neufeld gets it free to Janney. Janney holding. Looking for Neufeld. Blocked. Robinson in deep. Gets it around the boards to Naslund. Naslund stopped by Telvin. A shot. Blocked. Neufeld knocks it down. Is hooked down. A penalty coming up on Montreal. As the Bruins now lose it. Janney trying to make the play. And a power play Boston holding Montreal. Canadiens lead 1-0.
Nice move on the part of Ray Neufeld. It took a cross-check from behind by Donald Dufresne to keep him from getting off a good shot on Patrick Roy. Derek, I'm going to wonder, has Terry lost that much confidence in Greg Hoggood to not have him out? I mean, they've got 1 shot on goal now in, 7.5 minutes. They need that individual special move type talent.
Back down to Wesley. Wesley on for Bork. Bork, a shot just missed. Short side, the rebound. Driven in by Janney, and it's blocked in front and covered up.
Well, first of all, I don't think it was a penalty on Dufresne. That was not a penalty. He pushed him. He didn't cross-check anybody. Bruins got a break there. Greg Hoggood's only been seeing power play duty. Right. And I think Greg Hoggood plays better when he's in the flow of the game. They're saying maybe that he misses his man once in a while because he plays the puck. But he plays the puck very well. So
I think the way Montreal has Boston pretty well bottled up right now. Nobody can seem to advance the puck, Derek, to create offense, and that is what Hoggood does so well. I would think right now that Terry would almost have to roll the dice and say, look, we need a guy that can beat a man one-on-one and make something happen in the offensive zone.
I think you'll see more of Hoggood.
Ludwig injured and goes limping off. He took the shot of John Carter.
Boy,
and the face-off now to the right of Roy. 1:51 left on the Boston power play. Montreal leads 1-0 on a Stephen Richer goal. Terry O'Reilly has Janney, Neely, and Carter with Wesley and Bork. And Walter on the face-off with Janney. Won by Walter. Around the boards, Bork able to keep it in. Fires to the corner. Chelios back. He's checked by Janney. Janney is stopped. It goes back to Bork. Bork along the line, holding. Now off into Galley. Back for Bork. To Janney. Bork. Shot wide. Rebound. Pops all the way to Carbonneau. Carbonneau skates it out. Coming on Ray Bork. And his shot is well wide. Neely winding up. 1:20 left on the Boston power play. Bruins with 1 shot on net. Janney over the line. Cuts in front. Works it to the corner with a fine rush. Plays it behind the net. Carter can't get it, though. Carbonneau does. And Carbonneau clears it out. Over the line now comes Galley. Galley, a good move. Holding. Along the line. Off for Janney on the right side. Janney to Bork. In the middle, they back up, he fires, it's blocked. Chalia's shot missed. In the corner, Janney with it. Janney holding. They back off it. He holds, takes. His pass is blocked. As he tried to put a pass through Robinson, it was knocked away. 35 seconds left. And with it, Wesley. Wesley to Burridge. Burridge checked by Robinson. Works it in. Check. Loses to Robinson. Robinson to Chelios. Chelios fires it down. 20 seconds left on the power play. Bruins listed without a shot on the power play. 10:52 left. First period. 1-0 Montreal. Wesley pops it in, and it is offside.
Pat Burns was telling me before the game that when it comes to defense in their own end, he refuses to allow any of his players to give up a shot in a certain area, what he calls the perimeter shooting area, Derek. He says it runs from the post out to the dots in the circle and then out into the head of the slot about 35 feet away from the goal. And he has, all teams have shots charted every period, but he'll come into the dressing room, get the sheet, put up on the board the number of the guy who gave up a shot in a certain area and ask him how come, say, Burge got 2 shots, or how come Bork was allowed to get a shot in there. So the guys are really thinking doubly about it when they go out. And take a look at 1 shot so far. They're willing to give everything away from the dots out.
Bork had 2, missed the net. One he hit Carbonneau's foot, and the other one he missed the net.
Peterson off for Telvin. 5 seconds left. And Skrudland intercepts and drives it back wide of Lundman. Stephen Richer, a break-in for the only goal. The Bruins, Sweeney, the clear in. Roy out of the net. Oh, Felton. Oh, a penalty on Boston here. Burridge going out. And Burridge is hit from behind. There might be matching penalties, but Burridge is going for sure. He took a run at Roy.
Randy's saying, I didn't take a run at him. Randy's pretty hot. I don't know if Randy felt he was taken into Roy or whether Roy kind of greeted the confrontation.
I don't know, but Patrick Roy got hit.
He sure did. He got walloped. Oh, look. We're going to get a look at him when we come back.
Well, Skrudland is out too, so we'll see how the penalties come here by Koharski. Montreal leads 1-0 first period.
Don Koharski is evening up in the penalty minutes. Crowder and Burge each get a minor, and Skrudland gets a double minor. All right, there's Burge, the run on Roy, a charging call against Burge. Now there's Skrudland with Crowder.
There's Svoboda grabbing Burridge. Skrudland, Crowder didn't do anything. Skrudland jumps him from behind, throws a couple of punches. That constitutes a fight.
Well, he got a double minor.
He got a double minor, right. Skrudland gets a double minor for roughing. Crowder gets 2 for roughing, and Burridge gets 2 minutes for what started it all, and that is charging. I would have to say Skrudland got a raw end to get a double roughing out of that.
Why?
Well, he only roughed once.
The charge. That's what he got the original high stick rough for, and then the punch.
No, he got the rough going
Lucky he
after.
didn't get 5 for the punch.
Going after Crowder.
Yeah. That's why he didn't give him the 5 for the punch.
I don't know why Randy didn't feel that.
Burns right there, a little hysterical. He has nothing to be upset about.
Well, I'm sure the folks of Buffalo are sitting watching this saying, see they did try to run Malarchuk.
They do run goaltenders.
Well, Brian Skrudland, if it's listed a double minor for roughing, if he said instigating, because he took on Crowder separate, and then roughing, then that would have been it. But he
double rough. I guess he was.
Teams are at full strength. Portnall keeps it in. And the Canadiens, Lemieux does, and he walks away to put one right in on Lemlin, and the Bruins defense was dreadful there. Oh, and very poor now again on Lemieux. Lemieux wheeling all over the place. Lemieux walked right in front. Carpenter trying to move it out, deflected into the stands by Green, and the Bruins let Lemieux just walk all alone in for a backhander.
See, that happens when you're playing the puck. Everyone expected Lemieux to shoot it the second he got it. Lemieux kept fighting for better body position to get more weight on the shot. Right there, they expected him to get it at the net. Nobody does. Okay, let's wait for the shot. He didn't make a shot. You can't fall off somebody like Lemieux or anyone like that. You must continue to stay with your man. Now he gets a good shot on Reggie. Now he makes the save. The rebound comes up.
Lemlin saved the day there, and that is the 6th shot for Montreal. Boston has 1, and we're halfway through the first period. And the Bruins nowhere near the form that they demonstrated in the first 2 games in the Forum. Bourque moves it out. Pops it in. Caught by Roy, so it's not icing. Chelios moves it to the corner. Boucher winding up. Gets it away to the open man, Chelios, and the Canadiens work it out. The pass is stopped by Peterson. Now to Ray Bourque. The Canadiens riding that 1-0 lead with solid defense. Yanni wheels it in. And Gainey overskates it. On the board, fought for it. Neely digs it free. Then can't get control. Around the boards, it is Bourque. Back to Gianni at the right point. Gianni a shot. Left pad saved by Roy. The best test by Boston so far. And Gianni had to be 45 feet away. But he had a lot on it. He was covering at the point for Bourque. And he put it right in. Now it's tipped in by Carter. Broken up by Chelios. Controlled now by Ludwig. Again, the long shot. And the offside, Montreal. Canadiens lead 1-0 in the first period.
Here's Craig Janney with the puck. Everybody scream and shoot. He does. Left leg out by Roy. Had it missed the leg, he could have caught it. Nice, cool save under pressure.
Face-off at center ice, Smith and Sweeney. It's back to Dufresne, the rookie defenseman, who's on with Robinson. Up now for Naslund, checked by Galley. Back to cover, Sweeney. Bruins forced back. Wesley. Galley. Out for Sweeney and Misk and Robinson. Just drives it away, and the Bruins unable to create any attack at all. Johnston clears it in. Back to cover, Robinson. Robinson up the middle to Smith. Smith to Keane. Keane cuts over the line to Naslund. Wesley knocked down with it. Naslund wheeling around the zone. Bruins get it. Galley. Wesley. Wesley starts it out. This is going to be, well, they wave off icing. Roy plays it. And Naslund with it. 8 minutes left in the first period. And the Bruins can't get it going. Now out comes Carpenter. A long shot. Blocked wide by Roy. Carpenter fights for it in the corner. Now to Joyce. Joyce hit there by Smith to Carpenter. Back on the boards to Shoebottom. Screen shot. Blocked. Loose. In front for Neufeld. Set up by Joyce, who couldn't get the shot on. Canadiens break it out. You don't get many rebounds against Montreal. Bourque with it now. Shoebottom to Neufeld. Trying to work it in. The call outside. Carpenter arguing. And the face-off call.
Bobby Carpenter's got a point.
Well,
we're going to get to see it right here. It's over the blue line now. Still hasn't come out all the way.
Right.
Bobby Carpenter had a point.
Obviously, Gordy Brossiker's vision was blocked by the legs.
Might have been a leg, crisscrossing leg. So difficult to pick it up. And I wish congratulations to Billy Sullivan, Christine Wilbur, getting married Sunday.
Got a Bruin fan, a 60-year Bruin fan, celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday. Dom Cheveroli down in South Weymouth watches the Bruins through thick and thin, wishing him a happy birthday.
Shots are 6-4 now. Svoboda clears it. Back for Peterson. Montreal changing up. 7:12 left first period. Richer the only scorer. And the Bruins break it up the middle, and Burridge couldn't quite get through. Green broke it up. That looked like a great chance there for a brief second. A shining moment. And there haven't been many. Puck fed in. Crowder going against Svoboda. Sweeney gets it. Sweeney sweeps it back to Talbot. Talbot, a shot and a screen. It's wide. Somehow they need a deflection. Or back now comes Richer again over the line. The shot blocked by Talbot. Into the stand for a faceoff. And Corson knocks the net loose.
That's because Randy Burridge knocked Corson loose.
NHL update, Tom Larson.
Thank you, Fred. The only other game tonight, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. This is at the Spectrum in Philly. Pittsburgh has jumped out in front on a goal by who else? Mario Lemieux. 6 of the playoffs, 12:07 in the first period of the time. 1-0 Pittsburgh. This update brought to you by Budweiser.
Okay, Tom, and here it's 1-0 Montreal. Stephen Richer, and he was teen one up again, and he's got one of the best shots in the league.
I'm not sure what precipitated Randy Burge taking out Shane Corson the way he did. It had to have started at the other end of the ice, but Burge gets two.
Corson was Burge's check. They were going at each other. Richer winds up for the shot. Burge knows that. He's got to cover his man for rebounds. Decided to take him out, and he ran out of ice. He's going to get squeezed to the post is all. He just ran into the net.
A cross-check, Randy Burge.
Is that a cross-check?
And a power play, Montreal.
Probably no more so than the one that Dufresne got.
Neither one. The one Dufresne got wasn't a cross-check either. So that's 2 unnecessary penalties called.
Brickley out there with Smith. Gets the draw to Bork. Bork back to Johnston, and he clears. This is the second power play for Montreal. The Bruins have had 1. The shots are 6 Montreal. Brickley in deep on Chelios. Checked him nicely and puts Robinson back. But now Chelios starts it up the middle to Naslund. The drive in off the corner. The rebound in front. Ray Bork there. Able to clear it. Robinson back for it. Robinson and Chelios on the power play for Montreal. They are very effective at the line. They can carry the puck too. But 2 defensemen out there with the 1-0 lead. And Robinson along the lines. Whoops in. Goes behind the net. Checked by Peterson. Gets it to Smith. Peterson fell down. He's back up. Smith holding. Watched now by Carter. And the pass in front blocked. A big play by Ray Bork. And it's cleared by Peterson. A minute left on the Montreal power play. And this is a key for Boston if they can hold them at bay on the power play. Here's Naslund driving it in. The rebound drilled right out. If they can hold them, that will perk up the crowd. Here's Chelios trying to go it alone. He's over the line. Wraps it around the boards. And going for it, Lemieux able to keep it in. A pass to the corner to Corson. Corson trying to put it in front. Broken up by Wesley. Wesley fights for it. Kicks it free around the boards. It is Walder fighting for it. And the Bruins drive it out. Talbot. Svoboda with it. 24 seconds left. Svoboda clears it in. Corson and Talbot to the corner. Heavily. And Walder in to get it. Walder to Lemieux. Lemieux holding. Back. Svoboda to Lemieux. All the way across Chelios. Svoboda again to Chelios. Snapped in for Lemieux. Can't handle it. Has to chase it. Able to keep it in. And the penalty just about up. Bruins get the man out. And clear the puck. And it hit the linesman. Brossiter. Burridge is out. Back comes Chelios. Chelios works it over the line. Drills. And just misses. Oh, what a shot he made there. I tell you, if he had the corner like Richer, home free. Chelios again now, catching the line change. Another one. A great stop by Lemlin. Loses it to Lemieux. And then ties up. Lemieux's backhander. Reggie Lemlin. Silent.
Can't be giving up that blue line like that. You're going to get hurt. The Montreal Canadiens like to gain it, play along it, and shoot from there. Chelios just unloads one here. Lemlin gets the leg out, but the rebound just gets away from him. He decides on the poke check. Lemieux gets it, a little piece of it, tried to flip it up in the air. Reggie kept the glove up there, so maybe he could catch it.
Reggie said a little prayer down there that that puck was bouncing.
I'll say.
We'll be talking to Claude Lemieux, second intermission tonight. Boy, he's got to feel like a fish out of water. There's no real chippiness. There's no fighting.
No, it's just hard-fought hockey. And they're all watching it down at the penalty box in Fort Lauderdale, Rosie Paymon's place. Got to say hello to Peter Masters.
And Rosie's down there.
My old roommate, Junior Rosaire.
Stephen Richer, the lone goal. The face-off down to the right of Lemlin. Shots are 7-4 Montreal, so they only had 1, but Chelios took advantage of the change. Here's one by Green and a save from the blue line by Lemlin. And Peterson starts it out. Peterson center ice. Up for Joyce. Joyce is buried by Green. Whoa, on a hit. And Green gets it away to Carbonneau. To Gainey. Gainey center ice over the line, drops it. Robinson in for Walter. Walter in front. Blocked wide, and the net dislodged. And that came close. Robinson looking for it right in front when Walter fired.
Boy, Bob Gainey was in good position too, except the puck ended up in his skates. He couldn't convert it.
Here's the play across there. Now over on the top of your screen, Reggie's backing up. He knows he's got Robinson there. He was just thankful it was a shot on him rather than the pass. He was looking to play the pass all the way. Right here, too many Bruins over this side of the building. Reggie gets to see it at the end, but it already had hit him at that point. That's what you call very fortunate. Bobby Joyce gets bounced.
Rick Green hit him. And the face-off now outside the Boston line. 3:49 left first period. 1-0 Montreal. It could be more, except for Lemlin. The Bruins unable to create much of an attack on Patrick Roy. He's had an easy night so far. Wesley pops it in wide. U-Toob going for it. U-Toob check. Broken up. McPhee starts it back. The lead pass in. Lemieux, Skrudlin cleared around the boards, and U-Toob starts it out to Carpenter. Carpenter holding, gives it off for Galley. Galley over the line. The shot blocked. Never reached Roy. It was blocked by Ludwig. Ludwig trying to clear it out. Blocked. Carpenter. U-Toob shot right on. Save. The Bruins do get a shot there by U-Toob. And out comes Lemieux. A lead for Skrudlin, broken up by Ray Bourque. And back comes Galley with Carpenter. Over the line. Carpenter. The shot. Wow. A long rebound, and it's cleared away by McPhee to the Boston end. Ray Bourque starts back. 1-0 Montreal. Up for Sweeney. Sweeney trying to bear in. Spill! Out goes Smith. And a power play Boston.
Well, the Canadiens were guilty of too many men on the ice too, Fred, but I don't think anybody in striped jerseys on the ice saw Matt Snasman come onto the ice. There were too many men. He hopped off quickly, and nobody picked it up, so it's only justice that Montreal would commit the penalty anyway.
Randy Burge has about 5 Montreal Canadiens incensed with him. Mike McPhee went all over the building. Crowder intercepted him. There's the little tuck right there on the knee. Sweeney wisely takes a dive. Bobby Smith for tripping.
It is the second power play for Boston in the game. Montreal's had 2. They did not score on a power play, but Richer scored on a break-in, and Montreal's had other opportunities. The Boston opportunities against Roy, not that challenging or dangerous. The face-off now on a power play for Boston to the left of Roy. Sweeney is out with Burridge and Crowder, Telvin and Bourque. 2:46 left in the first period. Carbonneau, the penalty killer. And it's back for Telvin. Back to Bourque, right point. Now to Sweeney. Sweeney checked by 2 men, broken up, and cleared away by Larry Robinson.
Why wouldn't Michael Telvin shoot that?
Leading the wrong way.
Ray Bourque starts it away. The clear in. Robinson, Crowder, a jam up in the corner. All 3 forwards there for Boston. Dugout. Burridge hit by Green. Gets it to Sweeney, though. Sweeney back to Bourque, left point. Off for Telvin, right point. Right in the middle for Sweeney. Sweeney checked on the play. Broken up and cleared by Green.
Well, Dave, they do shut down that spot in the middle.
Ray Bourque starts it back. 1:10 left on the power play. The drive in. Neely going for it. Blocks it on the boards. Fights for it there. Ganny too. Neely trying to make the play. And over there is Carter. Carter back to Telvin. Cross for Bourque. Bourque. Quick shot. Picked off by Roy. And a face-off in the Montreal end. 54 seconds left on the power play. Ray Bourque, the captain, with that quick wrist shot.
Greg Hoggood's coming out on the ice in this power play. Try to give it some life. There's the shot by Bourque. It was a wrist shot that he had to get away. He wasn't going to be able to put anything on it. Wanted to get it up a little higher, I believe.
Coming up after the game, Tucker Anthony Golf Classic. Plymouth against Braeburn, outstanding. And how are things proceeding for our celebrity in the fall right after Labor Day? Bruins.
With the Daniel Webster and all the Bruins are going to be there. President passed. the next September. It's going to be a wonderful tournament. Clive Fazioli's going to, Tucker Anthony's going to announce it again with you, Fred. But I tell you, they got the guys coming. I got to make sure I'm in the final somehow.
Steve Catania, general manager, president. Daniel Webster. Here's Wesley now on the draw. Gets it across for Hogwood. First appearance. Shot in low. Blocked. Kept in by Carter. Power play Boston. Back to Hogwood. Up to Carter. Carter check. Gets it in deep. And Janney. Good flip for Hogwood. Hogwood. Now for Wesley. Wesley has to chase it to the corner. Puts it around the boards. Back to Janney. Janney the quarterback. Back to Hogwood. The shot. And it's wide. And Chelios trying to clear it out. Stopped by Wesley. 20 seconds left. In for Janney. Back for Wesley. Wesley for Hogwood. Hogwood is shot. Save. Rebound. It is Carter fighting for it. Back to Hogwood. Right point. It is almost up. Over to Wesley. Wesley in deep. Puts it on. Shot blocked by Roy. Janney trying to put it in front. And it's tied up by the Canadiens. 3 seconds left on the power play. 48 seconds left in the first period. And the face-off to the left of Patrick Roy. Not a bad power play since Hogwood came out there.
Hogwood moved it well. What he does is he looks before he gets the puck. He knows where he's going to go. He's got streaking bodies to cover certain players, and he figures, okay, that eliminates that option, that option. Greg Hogwood just knows what he's going to do with the puck before he gets it. Timing a little off, missed the net a couple of times, but I tell you, he can handle the puck so sweetly back there that the puck is very easy to handle. Glenn Wesley just kind of overhandled it, expecting it a little harder, and it came very soft. Hogwood has the ability to cut it, lay it into you, let you get rid of it and all in one motion. Bobby Carpenter has the same ability.
Carpenter on the face-off. It's won by Montreal for Svoboda. Gets it up. Peterson able to keep it in. Battling Walter into the corner. Now behind the net. Green hit by Joyce. Green gets possession. Up the boards. Bork checks Smith. He's out of the penalty box. And Watford on the boards. Neufeld gets it free in deep. Going for it. Joyce. Heavy work in the corners. Carpenter in there too. Carpenter still checking it. Neufeld kept it in. 20 seconds left. And Smith is upended by Carpenter. Falls on the puck. A whistle and a face-off. And plenty of hitting on the boards, but Montreal kept it on the perimeter. 16 seconds left in the first period. The shots are 9 Montreal, 7 Boston. Each team with 2 power plays. And the Bruins perking it up on the attack now territorially. But Montreal had an edge for the first 15 minutes. And they scored on a goal by Richer.
I'd hate to admit it, but I think Montreal is really pretty happy with that 1-goal lead. They're not going to look to give the puck away. Going to wait for their chances. The Bruins must play consistent hockey. They got to always have somebody protecting that line. Pat Burns has his team playing very sound. Terry O'Reilly has the Bruins more conscious of that defensive effort.
Janney against Carbonneau. And Carbonneau knocks it right out of the zone. Ray Bork there. Wesley. Now Bork again. A long shot in on Roy. Deflected to him. He gets it off to Svoboda. Svoboda clears it around. And the siren sounds. The first period ends. Montreal 9 shots. Boston 8 after that long one by Ray Bork. And the only goal by Stephen Richer. And we'll be back with intermission highlights in just a moment.
Montreal Canadiens lead the Bruins 1-0 at the end of the first period of play. That goal by Stéphane Richer, and Montreal with a shots on goal advantage 9-8 over the first 20 minutes of Game 3 of this series. Montreal leads it 2-0, coming off the pair of wins at the Forum in Montreal. 3-2 in the first game and 3-2 likewise in the second game, except that second one went to overtime. And as we mentioned before, the Canadiens are unbeaten in the postseason so far. 6 consecutive wins. They have won 3 of those 6 games in overtime. Canadiens, 3 of the last 4 games have been overtimes. They have won all 3. They won the last 2 games of their series against Hartford at Hartford in overtime, and Game 2 of the series against the Bruins, that one at the Forum just the other night. Randy Burridge, Dave Shea's guest at the intermission. So back to the Garden. David?
All right, Tom, thank you. The Canadiens successfully took the crowd out of it early with that goal by Richer, but fortunately been able to duck, dodge, and hide a couple of Montreal power plays, Randy, and you're right there in it.
Yeah, I think we're a little too intense on the body checks when I took the goalie and when I took that other guy. You know, you can't be taking penalties like that. You know, I've settled down now, but some good penalty killing really saved us that period.
I'm sure the folks that live up near Buffalo are saying, see, the Bruins do run goaltenders. What happened on that? I mean, you came into him like you were going to give him a seat in the front row.
Well, he came out to play the puck, and, you know, I would have had the puck if he wouldn't have been there, so I was taking the body on the man. You know, maybe if I wouldn't have checked him so hard, I wouldn't have got a penalty because he called me for charging. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm not sure what the rule is. If he's out, you can take the body. I'm not really sure. It all depends on how hard the check is, I guess.
Well, he obviously didn't get too flustered about it, and it really wasn't a big factor in the game since you killed off the penalty. What is a factor right now is they're successfully bottling you folks up, forcing you to dump it in, and more times than not getting back on it before your forwards can get in.
Yeah, I think we just got to concentrate a little more on our dump ins. You know, they are shutting us down through the middle, and we have to dump it. So, you know, we got to dump it to where a guy's going in hard, and so we can be the first man to the puck. I think a few times there we dumped it, and their defense was cheating really bad, and he was able to pick it up and move out with it. So I think we just got a little more concentration on our dump ins, and I think the next period will be a lot better.
Well, certainly the Bruins have showed that they can skate with Montreal in the form. Of course, the whole game changes, Randy, when you move into the smaller Boston Garden. How do you feel it has changed in the strategy of both clubs now that you've come into Boston?
Well, they got a really good skating club. You know, that first goal, you know, Ray made a great pull check on Courtnall, and it happened to go right on Richer's stick. And, you know, obviously when the puck changed direction, everybody's caught flat-footed, and he had the speed going. But, you know, with the way we grind and stuff, I think the smaller building is going to be a lot better to our advantage. You know, so far in the first period, they shut us down good, but I think we're going to change around this next period.
It has still been a relatively tame series so far. I mean, nothing like a year ago when everything would break loose and there'd be a fight here and a fight there and gloves dropping. Is it surprising to you that we've gotten this far into 7 periods of hockey plus an overtime and still not a fight or any real roughhousing?
Maybe it's surprising a little bit, but, you know, the rules have changed a lot from last year. They're really bearing down the high sticks and the fighting, and, you know, we got rid of Jay Miller. They got rid of Kordic, and, you know, the whole game's changed. You know, we're out there playing hockey, and, you know, it's a real skating team out there.
Do you think in the second period and third period now you guys might have to go back to maybe 3 men in instead of leaving one high to try to force a few more errors in deep?
Yeah, maybe, but you always got to have that man high because they're a quick transition team, and, you know, like I said, what it is we just got to get to the puck a little more. You know, our dumping's got to be better, and we got to have that first man there and the second man right with them. And if you got 2 guys right there, you know, you can always hit the third man open. No question, the next goal is a very important one for whoever gets it. Oh yeah, that's true. You know, 1-1 or 2-0. Let's get it. All right, Randy, thank you. Yep. Randy Burridge, our guest. Tom, back to you.
And for being our first intermission guest tonight, Randy Burridge receives the Casio G-Shock, the toughest watch in the world. With a G-Shock, you get caught between a rock and a hard place, it's no problem. From Casio, miracles never cease. Montreal won Boston 0. We are at the end of the first period of Game 3 of this Adams Division title series now. Montreal leads the series 2-0. I'll be back. We'll take a look at some of those first period highlights and a look at what's happening at Fenway Park tonight as well. Sox and the Royals when Bruins hockey continues on your New England Sports Network. Montreal leading the Bruins 1-0. Game 3 of the Adams Division title series. Montreal already with a 2-0 lead in games. A chance to push the Bees to the brink. They can pull off another one at Boston Garden tonight. Goaltenders, same as they were in Game 2. Reggie Lemelin for the Bruins, and that man again, Patrick Roy, back between the pipes for the Montreal club. First goal of the game, so important, especially with 2 defensive-minded teams. Richer gets it, billiard shot post to post. Boston defense not as sharp as it had been in games 1 and 2. After Montreal got the first 5 shots of the game, the Bruins had evened it up some. Canadiens then just flying on a power play chance.
Kalios again now, catching the line change. Another one. A great stop by Ledlund. Loses it to Lemieux, and then ties up Lemieux's backhander. Reggie Ledlund.
Bruins had a power play late in the period. It did not score, and they are now 0 for the last 7 games, plus the first period of this one in playoff games. on the power play against Montreal. Montreal 1, Boston nothing. We're at the end of the first period of Game 3. Fenway Park tonight, well, you know what it's like out there. Nice night, clear, kind of chilly for the Red Sox and the Kansas City Royals for this game. For the Sox tonight, John Dobson looking for his 3rd win of the year, but there is trouble in the first inning. Willie Wilson on 3rd with a walk, stolen base, and a ground out. Comes home easily on George Brett's sacrifice fly to center field. The Royals, with an early 1-0 lead on the East Division leaders, scored the run without a base hit. In the Sox first, they threaten. Singles by Boggs and Barrett have 2 on, nobody out. Ellis Burks joins the early hit parade with a single to center. Boggs can't score. Bases loaded. It's the Gator. Manages only a double play ball, but a run scores. It's tied at 1 after 1. Royals second inning, Bo Jackson at 3rd after a walk and a pair of steals. Deja vu. Bo scores on this Frank White infield scorcher. Nice play by Jody Reed at short. White safe. Jackson scores 2-1 Kansas City. There is one other National Hockey League playoff game tonight. The Flyers hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is Game 3 of the Patrick Division Series. I'll be back and we'll take a look at the action from that one too. And Bruins hockey continues here tonight on your New England Sports Network. Canadiens with a 1-0 lead over the Boston Bruins. End of the first period of Game 3 of their Adams Division title series. Championship on the line for the postseason in the Patrick Division as well, where the Washington Caps, who were the division champs, have already been eliminated by the Philadelphia Flyers. They have moved on to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins for the postseason championship in the Patrick Division. Pretty tough game going on in Philadelphia as well. The first 2 games were played in Pittsburgh. Get a look at some of the early hits. This happened just 7 seconds after the opening faceoff, and the lads went at it and quickly. The only goal of the game so far was scored by, who else? Number 66, Mario Lemieux, puts it past Ron Hextall on a Pittsburgh power play, and the Penguins have the lead in that one 1-0 at the end of the first period of play. In the other series, and they will be going to Game 3 tomorrow, St. Louis and Chicago in the Norris Division. That one is tied at a game apiece. And in the Smythe Division, where it's the Calgary Flames and the Los Angeles Kings, it is Calgary with a 2-0 lead over Los Angeles. The series moving back to Los Angeles for Game 3 tomorrow. And that is after Calgary, which had the best regular season record over the 80-game schedule, having a very difficult time against the Vancouver Canucks in their opening round series. Stéphane Richer with the only goal of the game so far, 4:06 the time, with his 3rd of the playoffs. Courtnall and Robinson had the assist. There have been penalties against the Bruins by Bourque, Burridge, Crowder, and Burridge again. And for Montreal by Dufresne, Skrudland for 4 minutes, and Smith. And the shots on goal, Montreal 9, the Bruins 8. And that after Montreal had the first 5 shots of the game. Second period action now. Back to Fred and Dave and Derek.
Thank you, Tom. Now what we got right here is the Boston Bruins going to get caught. Right there, those 2 guys are going to head to the bench. So they're out of here. Right there with the puck, Larry Robinson. They're going to be coming over here. The Bruins are over here. They're going to switch. These 2 guys are going to crisscross each other, stand up in the blue line. Well, that's all fine and dandy. What you can't do is go concentrating on this puck. Now you got Robinson's going to make the play over to Courtnall. Now our defense changed as well. Bad time to change. Courtnall tucks across the top of the blue line. Now there's your Bruins right there. Right, they are all massed together, all of them reaching in for this puck. That is too much. There's Stéphane Richer, who's just going to go in here. Ray Neufeld is going to wrap around, cut in too deep. Now he's out of the play. He's going to the net. It's a situation where that's where intensity can hurt you. Intensity does not mean follow the puck. It means concentrate on your check with enthusiasm and focus. Know where you are on the ice at all times. Stéphane Richer right there. There we got 1 for the moment. 2-on-1 there, Fred. Oh, my good friend Ray Flynn won't like that, but you know, it's 1 for Ray, my buddy. So this period, Fred, you got to say to yourself, the Bruins cannot allow that second goal to be scored on them. They have to play somewhat patient. Randy Burridge mentioned that they got to get 2 guys in on that puck carrier when they dump it in. You can't allow the Canadiens to turn around and sail it out.
Teams are at full strength, ready to go in the second period. 1-0 Montreal. Shots were 9-8 Montreal, somewhat deceptive. Montreal had a pretty good edge in play, controlled play. And the Boston shots, for the most part, were not menacing. Peterson wraps it in. Burridge in on Chelios. Crowder keeps it in. Crowder along the line. Up for Sweeney. Sweeney trying to make the play. Burridge checked on the boards. Crowder battling. Chelios there. Still in the corner. Skrudland. Finally Crowder with it. Flips it to Peterson. Peterson was covered, though, by Lemieux. And Crowder gets it free at center ice. Away to Ray Bourque. And driven right back in. Great discipline by the Canadiens defensively. Lemieux stayed with the point man. That nullified a chance. Peterson, when he got the pass, I mean, the man right on him. Bourque back. Burridge able to wrap it in. And before checking, Neufeld chases Chelios and broke him up. And gets it to Carpenter. Loose into the corner to Neufeld. Neufeld checked on the play. Carpenter fights for it. Trying to put it in front. Good forechecking by Boston. Neufeld. Joyce. A shot from well out. Wide. Telvin trying to keep it in. It's knocked away. Back to cover is Bob Joyce. Joyce over to Wesley. Wesley back. Now to Carpenter. Carpenter pokes it in. Going for it. Joyce. Neufeld in. Behind the net. Smith breaks up the play. And Dufresne able to clear it out to the Boston zone. Telvin against Keane. Telvin fires it out of the zone. Boston better forechecking at the start. Keane coming back. Broken up. Telvin with it. Telvin checked deep by Smith. And Neufeld takes a hit from Keane but clears it out. 1-0 Montreal. 2 minutes into the period. Over the line. Naslund in alone. And he scores. Sent in by Robinson to make it 2-0.
Wow.
I think the Bruins have to skate with rabbit's feet taped to their sticks. I mean, every mistake they make, they haven't made that many. No. But every mistake they make, Montreal capitalizes.
The Montreal Canadiens right here. Robinson, an excellent play. Right through Reggie's legs. Naslund, all he wanted to do is shoot it. He just got it away.
Good job, too, to shield that puck.
Well, the Bruins came out playing better, but Montreal got the first shot and the goal in the second period. Robinson and Dufresne. Shot by Galley. The rebound cleared by Dufresne. You don't get many rebounds against Roy. He gave them up with the Canadiens coverage. Ganny has stopped by Robinson. Cleared away. And Galley winding up. Montreal leads 2-0. Carbonneau breaks up Galley's pass. Loses now to Janney. Janney loses it deep to Gainey. Gainey gets it away now for Walter. Carbonneau. And Carbonneau puts it in front. Back at the left point. Knocked away by Neely and into the stands. And a face-off call. Montreal leads 2-0. Back in a moment.
Right here, all the Montreal Canadiens are on this side. They will turn and swoop. That's what they do, the 3 of them. There they go, and there's Naslund with the puck. The Bruins just went to their lanes. Naslund split the seams, and the backhander gets away in the net.
And Rick Green drives it in. Montreal in front 2-0. Only one shot in the period, and that a goal by Naslund. Galley is checked. Bourque is checked. Gets it away to Carter. Carter to Janney. Janney a lead for Neely. Neely up the middle, trying to go through. He's hauled down on the play by Svoboda, who lost his helmet. Carter fights for it deep. And a whistle for a face-off in the Canadian zone as the puck is tied up.
People want a penalty. That's no penalty. Cam driving. They had to go down and play the puck.
Well, it's getting to that point, Derek, where guys are going to start trying to do it alone. You know, trying to make the individual play. They're getting frustrated.
True. Svoboda went down for the puck. He didn't make contact with it, however.
The goal by Matt Naslund, the assist to Larry Robinson and Donald Dufresne. It came at 1:59 of the second period. We have 16:52 left in the second period, and the face-off down to the right of Roy. For the Bruins, Carpenter is out there with Brickley and Johnston, Peterson and Talbot.
Neely out there mentioning that fact to Koharski, that he never got the puck. But Koharski couldn't see it to make the call.
Carpenter back to Peterson. Peterson, shot blocked by Walter. And Richer able to work it out. Broken up by Johnston, but now it's cleared up by Chelios and kept in by Telman. Telman to Johnston, a straight save on Johnston. Goes behind the net. Brickley battling for it there. Johnston 2. Poke free. Goes off on the boards and cleared away by Corson. Will be icing. Good pressure there. Great chance. Greg Johnston. Good stop for Watt.
Great second effort by Craig Johnson. That's what you got to have. Greg got in there, got the puck, never quit on it, poked it away. And then the Montreal Canadiens, who are all thinking offense and going out, you're going to see the poke check. There's the shot, is what you're going to see, unfortunately. Nice shot, too. Nice save by Roy. He's sharp, Dave.
Yeah, sure is. He's leaving nothing. I mean, he deadened that rebound completely.
Yeah.
He is on. The scary thing, Pat Burns pointed it out. He said, you know, he's young. He's matured now. He has matured this season, but he's young, and he can only get better.
Yeah, he certainly can.
Sweeney on the draw. It's fought for in the Canadiens. Chelios able to work it out with a pass to Corson. Corson snaps it in. On the board, Sweeney is checked by Corson. Bork check. And Sweeney starts it away. Passes behind Burridge, and it's picked up by Courtnall. Now across for Corson. A shot blocked by Bork. Went wide. Good chance for the Canadiens. Winding up Bob Sweeney. Sweeney broken up by Courtnall, who can't cut in. Courtnall had it inside the line. Wesley finds no skating room. Clear out by Ray Bork all the way down wide of Roy. Burridge in on Chelios, and Sweeney keeps it in. Sweeney in the corner. Trying to make the play. Burridge fighting for it. And the puck is tipped out by Richer. Winding up is Crowder. Batted over the line. Crowder to Burridge. Burridge forced wide by Chelios. Shot wide. Along the boards, Peterson into Burridge. Burridge in the corner. A quick shot there by Galley. Popped in the air. Burridge can't get it. It is batted out by Richer. 2-0 Montreal. Carpenter winding up for the Bruins. And he lost it to Naslund. Chelios back for Naslund. Naslund over the line. Off for Keane. Ooh, just wide. And that one by Keane, who was well set up by Naslund. A drive in and a kick-out save there on the drive by Svoboda. Joyce trying to move it out. Stopped by Robinson. Drives it in behind the net. Smith there. Pokes it in front. Knocked away and picked up by Peterson. Peterson to Carpenter. Carpenter away to Neufeld. He misses it, but Carpenter is over the line. Canadiens back up. Carpenter knocked down by Dufresne. Back in, gets it in front. And there's Keane right in front of Neufeld. That's the story of the Canadiens. They guard well in front. Carpenter, a good pass, but Neufeld was covered. Smith picks up the loose puck at center ice and drives it in on the right wing boards. Bounces in front of the net. Kept in by Smith. Broken up now. Janney. Way to Neely. Neely. Off for Janney. Janney over the line. He's forced wide. Robinson can't put it in front. Neely behind the net to Janney. Janney puts it on the other side, but only Dufresne there. And Dufresne is able to belt it out. Back with goes Calvin. Up for Wesley. Wesley to clear in wide of Roy. Taken over by Svoboda, and he clears it out. Back for it. Bork, after him is Carbonell. And Tom Larson, NHL update.
Thank you, Fred. 2-0 at Boston Garden, 2-0 in Philadelphia, where the Penguins have taken a 2-0 lead on Dan Quinn's power play goal, his fourth power play goal of the playoffs. Mario Lemieux, who scored the first goal for the Penguins, assists on this one. 4:39 of the second period. This update brought to you by Budweiser.
During his years in Boston, Terry O'Reilly has come to symbolize the Bruins' work ethic as both player and coach. And now you can join with past and present Bruins celebrities in an all-star tribute to the man they call Taz. The festivities will benefit the Massachusetts Easter Seal Society. The tribute to Terry O'Reilly will be held at the Boston Park Plaza Hotel June 6th of 1989 at 6 p.m. For ticket information, call 617-482-3370.
Should be a fun night.
Should be a real good night.
The Bruins have one shot in this period, 13:30 left in the second period. And the Canadiens have 3, and they scored a goal. Naslund, first period goal by Richer. Defense, story of the game for Montreal. Bourque wraps it in. Goes off the backboards into the back of the net, knocked loose. But it is Gainey trying to clear it away, and he does. Carpenter winding up with Galley. Now Ray Bourque. Back for Galley. Carpenter with the forechecking. Bourque starts it away. Gets it to center ice to Johnston. Off for Brickley. Brickley dropped it, but right on the stick of Lemieux. Bruins so many times just refused to take a shot and follow up. And that drop pass was right to Lemieux, and he just worked it out.
I wonder if Claude called for it.
Chelios. Canadiens are flying now. Chelios checked by Bourque and by Telvin. Telvin takes over. Scoodlin right in on Bourque. Pass up to Burridge. Burridge gets it. Burridge leads Crowder. Crowder back in front. It's a shot on. A save by Roy. And Burridge trying to get away from Lemieux. They didn't fight to keep it in, but Lemieux is out with it. 3-on-2, Montreal. Scoodlin a shot. The save. Lemieux fights for it, and it's knocked in right on Lemlin, who has to make the save. A Bruin who is checking Lemieux, but he got it away. Here comes Burridge. Burridge drops it in. 2-0 Montreal, 8 minutes into period number 2. Sweeney trying to keep it in. Down the boards, Peterson does. Up for Burridge. Burridge hit. Sweeney. He's hit. Crowder for Burridge, but Canadiens right there. And away comes Mike McPhee, 1-on-1 with Telvin. The shot is very wide. Ludwig able to keep it in. The Canadiens able to change up as Telvin starts it now with Alan Peterson. Into center ice. Burridge still out there. Robinson gets it. Off for Keane, and it's back in the Boston zone. Cleared up by Sweeney. Icing on the play. 2-0 Montreal. Second period, Boston Garden.
Reggie Lemlin had to be quick as Brian Skrudlin got one off short side.
He didn't shoot the puck. That hit a stick. Redirected right there.
But you got something on that for just a little quick flick wrist.
I don't know if he might have been helped out by Bob Sweeney trying to check him.
On the faceoff, Joyce starts it away. Trying to get away from Robinson over the line. It is Joyce moving in. Still going with it into Neufeld. Neufeld checked on the boards. Fight for it against Richer. Joyce battling on the corner. Neufeld too. Neufeld trying to move it. The point man is covered. Canadiens do that in beautiful fashion. Wesley was covered by Courtnall. Here's Richer going deep. Gets the shot away, and Lemlin a short side save. And out comes Joyce. Joyce with Janney. Off for Janney. Janney for Wesley. The shot blocked. Popped in the air and lost. Into the stands it goes.
Put Shane Corson out in front.
Yeah, but the slow pass back. You had Wesley had to rush it. Canadian gets a stick on it. Soft pass from Joyce to Janney. A softer pass from Janney to Galley. Here's Richer. Watch Courtnall going to stay onside for him. The Bruins give up the blue line. They don't have to. Galley is now forced wide. He cuts in. Wesley went too deep, expecting him to go around back of the net. He didn't go. Shane Corson. Randy Burridge gave him a run for his money a couple of times. Bob Sweeney once.
Ray Bourque had said that this hockey club tonight, the Bruins, have to play desperate. Now that doesn't mean wide open, But that certainly means maybe doing a little bit more than you normally would in terms of taking a gamble, Derek. It might be
Well, you're
dead horse, but
you're halfway through the game now, Dave. And once you get, you've got to start establishing something. You've got to put Montreal back on their heels a little bit.
I'd like to see Honda. I really would. Just to see what happens.
I would too.
Carpenter, the draw to Rick Green. Now the boards, Neely fighting for it. A shake up in lines. Carpenter is centering Neely and Carter now. They fight for it on the boards. Still battling. And it's back to the point to Bourque. Bourque, wrist shot. Picked off by Roy. Ray Bourque featuring wrist shots. Now has to get rid of it quickly and picked off by Roy.
He gets it away quickly enough. Here's what the Bruins got to do. Come out of that corner. Bourque's got it. Go to the net. Now he's got Carter and Neely there. He knows that. Snaps off the shot just a little bit too high. But he had to beat the fallen Canadian who slid the block, and I think it was Walter.
10:18 left. Second period, 2-0 Montreal. They've outshot Boston 15-11. And Walter on the faceoff with Carpenter to the left of Patrick Roy. If you were picking the best Bruins players, you'd go with Joyce and Neufeld and Burridge with his continuing play. And the Bruins will have to move it up to their level of intensity. They have moved in well for checking.
No doubt about it, Fred. They're going to have to crank it up some.
On the faceoff. One. Oh, almost put in the net by Svoboda. Roy had to make a save on Peter Svoboda.
Patrick's liable to go over and give him a two-hander if Pat Burns doesn't beat him to it.
Did the Bruins get a shot on net for that?
No, I don't think so. I think you're going to be wearing a white sweater tonight to get credit for a shot on goal.
He almost missed that with the tip of the stick. That would have went between his legs had the stick not been there. But good goaltender's got that stick on the ice.
Peter's first shot on goal tonight.
Carpenter and Walter. And won by Walter again. Canadiens are winning the faceoffs.
Yes, they are.
Out to Walter it goes from Chelios. The long shot, kick out save Lemlin. And Carpenter starts it back. Away for Neely. Neely checked. Carpenter a hit in Carbonneau, but the loose puck to Walter. And deflected off Carter's stick into the stands of the faceoff call. And Carbonneau and Carpenter exchanging words right now.
Well, Bobby Carpenter did well to get Guy Carbonneau off his game. He has been a force throughout this series. Of course, he's a force throughout any game in any series.
Change up by Terry O'Reilly. He sends out the Bob Sweeney line with Burridge at left wing. And with Keith Crowder at right wing. 9:54 left in the second period. Montreal, Stephen Richer in the first period. Mats Naslund in the second. And that's been the scoring. And very limited opportunities for Boston, with Montreal featuring defense as they have all season long. And they're not trying to run it up on you or run wild. They just want to contain it. Gary Galley. The lead for Sweeney is an offside pass. But the Canadiens were forechecking right on Gary Galley that time.
Pat Burns showed up in Montreal and implemented the KISS system. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, the old AA.
It works well.
The hallowed halls of AA. Keep it simple, stupid. So true, Dave. You don't elaborate on it. You don't have to come up with X's and O's and anything sophisticated. Finish your checks, play your lanes, take your man, stay with them.
Skates 4 lines all season long, so everybody's got confidence. Coach has it in the players has it in the coach, that under any condition at any time, it doesn't make a difference who's on the ice. Got to get the job done.
Skrudland and Sweeney on the faceoff. Burridge is matched against Lemieux. And the draw back to Galley. Winding up to Peterson. Peterson is checked. Puck to Burridge. Burridge is hit by McPhee. Oh, took a hard hit. A penalty coming up. Neen there, tripping in the power play Boston. And the score, Montreal 2, Boston nothing. Back in the Garden in a moment.
Randy Burge with the puck. Could have tried to beat Mike McPhee through the feet. He just decides to stick his knee out. Little Charlie horse for Randy. Hope he's all right. Hope Billy Farrell is all right, too. The Brigham Women's Hospital. Hope all goes well with him.
10:38, Mike McPhee for tripping. Neely works it over the line, and it is cleared away by Robinson. Bork trying to drive it in. It's blocked, and Walter able to clear it out. It was blocked by Green.
Boy, that Larry Robinson is playing extremely well again.
Out comes Galley. And he's broken up at center ice by Carbonneau. Bork drives it in. Robinson can't golf it out. Kept in. Off for Bork. Back for Galley. Shot. Blocked by Carbonneau. How many times did they do that? And Carbonneau just drops it out of the zone. The Bruins' tempo does not equal Montreal's at all. That's one of the factors. Walter just clears away a centering pass by Janney. Bruins simply aren't skating with the intensity of the Canadiens. Bork back. The clear in. Burridge goes in. Check. Wesley gets it along the line. Wesley in the Crowder. Back to Bork. Bork a shot. Wide. Wesley fights to keep it in. Does. Hit by Gainey. Gets it to Burridge. Burridge checked by Chelios. They fight for it. Strudlin able to get it over on the boards and clear it out. While Burridge has the intensity, the other players aren't. So Strudlin beat him to it.
It looks like an individual effort. Randy Burridge checks two guys. No one there to follow up.
Wesley drives in. 20 seconds left. Crowder trying to make the play. Sweeney out of the corner. Back from Hogwood. Wrist shot. Deflected wide with Burridge screening. Got around. Gainey can't get it. Burridge takes a hit. Fights for it. It goes to Chelios. Chelios able to clear it out. And Mike McPhee moving for it.
Penalty up.
Winding up is Hogwood. Hogwood's pass up the boards is blocked. Fights for it again. Knocked away with it. Johnston can't connect with quickly. Chelios able to clear it in wide. Reggie Lemon. 7 minutes left in the second period. 2-0 Montreal. Bruins with only a couple of shots in the period. Offside to Bob Sweeney. And now Tom Larson, NHL update.
Fred, the Philadelphia Flyers have done what the Bruins need to do. They have scored to get back in that game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Keith Acton gets his second playoff goal from Curran Ballard, an even-strength goal. At 8:18 of the second period, it's now 2-1 Pittsburgh. This update brought to you by Budweiser.
Thank you, Tom.
Top college lacrosse comes your way next week on NESN on Monday, April 24th at 7 p.m. Catch the defending national champion Syracuse Orangemen hosting the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. On Tuesday night, April 25th at 10:30, it's a New England battle when Providence College travels to Springfield College. And on Wednesday, April 26th at 10:30 p.m., the powerful UMass Minutemen travel to take on Harvard. It's the best in college lacrosse next week on NESN.
Montreal leads at 2-0, 6:53 left in the second period. Kelvin up for Carpenter, and that's offside. Carpenter was going to head in. Kelvin was going to drive it from the Boston zone. It would have been icing for Montreal, but figuring that Carpenter would get there first. That never worked.
Nice try, though. At least Bobby Carpenter's trying something out the draws. Montreal Canadiens very sure of themselves. They have the Bruins, and they know the system that they want to play, and they're following their game plan to a T.
To a C.
To a T.
Back for it, Svoboda. Up the middle to Smith. Smith lost it, regains it, comes back over the Boston line to Naslund. Naslund able to penetrate, move behind the net, circle back for Svoboda, and he scores. And it is 3-0 Montreal.
Well, Canadians looking more and more like they may end their one-year jinx.
Don't bring up that nonsense, Dave. What I'm upset about is the Bruins played well in Montreal. Everybody was giving them so much credit. You gotta come out and keep going. Mats Naslund should not be allowed to do this. Peter Svoboda comes in from the point unchecked. You cannot allow the system to break down like that.
Although that wasn't scored the same way, that kind of reminds me of Bobby Smith's overtime goal. As soon as Smith had it in deep, Derek, everybody turned and looked for a man and forgot about the guy who had the puck.
And not only that, but see, Greg Johnson's assignments to stay on the point.
The goal by Svoboda, the assist to Naslund and to Bobby Smith, and it is 3-0. And the Canadiens started out again. Bobby Smith on the move. Over the line, able to hold it. Wesley fell down. The shot goes wide. It's all the way around to Richer. Richer's pass in, stopped by Bork. Bork around the boards, and Joyce strikes it out. Joyce visited Janney. Janney at the line to Joyce. Joyce trying to move in, can't. Neufeld to Joyce, he scores! Bobby Joyce from Ray Neufeld, and the Bruins get on the board.
Puck bounce for Boston there on 2 or 3 occasions. The Canadiens very lax, very casual. They had it a couple, 3 times. Once there they had it. Right there gets through. Joyce comes up with it. He gets checked. There's a bouncing puck. Checked again, hits Neufeld's leg. Joyce all alone in front of the net.
Funny, Derek, you talk about Montreal letting down their guard a little bit. Pat Burns was saying to me, this team scares me to death when they've got a pretty good cushion.
Yes.
He says, when the game's on the line or it's tight, they play their best hockey. But when we get up 3, 4, or 5, I know it's going to happen. It's going to be 3-0, then 3-1, 3-2, or 5-0, then 5-4.
Well, forget Pat Burns. That was Joyce and Neufeld, and we said 6 minutes ago, they're the only 2 going along with Burridge. And that's what got the goal. They were hustling. 5:51 left, and it is 3-1. The Bruins get on the board and bring the fans to life. Joyce from Neufeld and Janney. And not all the Bruins working, but they have been. And back comes Montreal now. Corson, a shot, a save by Lemlin. Wrapped around the boards. Corson able to keep it in. Take it over by Sweeney. Sweeney checked by Corson. Racked up on the boards. Galley tries the other side to Randy Burridge. Burridge broken up by Courtnall. Loose puck picked up by Crowder. Crowder, good shift over the line by one man. Courtnall, pass in front, blocked, and knocked away by Richer. Picked up by Bork. Back in, taken over by Bork. Bruins trying to open it up now as they get a goal. Burridge's pass is blocked, and right back comes Courtnall. Open, in, shot, save! Reggie Lemlin. He has stoned Courtnall. And the Canadiens figure will go to open it up. And back, up and down it goes. Back is Robinson, 4:44 left. It is away now to Ludwig. Up now on the right for Gainey. Gainey clears it away. Winding up is Michael Telvin. Bruins have picked up the pace to Ray Bork. Off for Telvin. Telvin. Off Carter into the zone. Behind the net, will walk out. Clearing it around and not out. Bruins on it. Now they lose it. It's cleared and Wesley has it. Right back in the intensive play as the Bruins pick up the pace after the goal by Joyce. Steal by Neely inside the line. Can't quite set up the play on Carter. And the fans wanted a call back in the Boston end. Icing against Montreal. With the score, Montreal 3, Boston 1. We'll be back in a moment.
Crowd is back into this game. Big save by Reggie Lemlin here.
Kept the right foot there.
Montreal trying to come right back with a quick score to take the steam right out of the Bruins, and Reggie needed to make that save and did.
Janney is out there with Carter and Neely. Canadiens, Walter wins the draw, and the puck is out to Skrubland. Drills it in around the boards. Kept in by Ludwig at the point. His pass blocked. The Bruins break it. And away on the right. Janney. Janney over the line. Janney. Pass in. Carter can't get it. Knocked away by Chelios. Good play by Janney nonetheless. And out comes Lemieux. Lemieux over the line. Drills one. A save by Lemlin. Up to Neely. Neely is hit. Poked away. Kept in by Montreal's McPhee. Loses. Janney breaks it out. Janney with Carter. Over the line for Neely trailing. Neely trying to cut in. Lost it to Ludwig. Ludwig to Lemieux. Back for Skrudland. Skrudland over the line in deep. Back for McPhee. His shot wide. And winding up Ray Bork. The game has opened up. On the right for Neely. Neely drives it in. The Bruins change up. 3 minutes left. Second period. 3-1 Montreal. They were ahead 3-0, and Joyce brought the people to life with a score. Peterson knocks it away into the Canadian end. Neufeld back in after Chelios. Chelios gets away. Joyce checking Chelios. Breaks him up. Neufeld with it. Couldn't center it. They have been really forechecking Joyce and Neufeld. And on the other line, Randy Burridge. And the rest of the Bruins are picking it up now. In deep, Joyce knocks it away from Roy. Behind the net, fights for it. Joyce hauled down, back up. Smith there. Joyce trying to get it free. Joyce, check. Smith. Now the Bruins Carpenter trying to keep it in. And he's taken over by Naslund. Naslund up the board. Stopped by Bork. Bork drives it in. And scores! A goal by Joyce to make it 3-2.
A lot of hard work there. That's all that was, Fred. Just second effort, hard work by Joyce, Carpenter, and Neufeld. Ray Neufeld. Excellent play by Ray Bork. Get it into Bobby Joyce. Just chops at it. Patrick Roy, legs open. This is the break the Bruins may have needed. Patrick Roy can be beaten.
Well, what about Joyce and Neufeld? Bork will get the assist there, but they've been on fire with checking the Montreal Canadiens, and Joyce has 2 goals. So it's paid off for him. Burridge in deep now on Green and Crowder. Burridge can't cut in front. Sweeney keeps it in. Ray Bork the assist. Canadians trying to clear it, blocked by Burridge. Burridge trying to make the play. On the boards, kept in by Tillman. Tillman fires wide of Roy. Now it is Wesley, a shot wide. Canadians lead down to 1, 3-2. Montreal as the Bruins come battling back now. And the puck cleared in by Naslund. Wesley knocks it away. Burridge starts it out. Burridge over the line for Neely. Neely along the line. Check. And broken up. And Telvin with it, trying to bring it back in as it was knocked out. Montreal 3, Boston 2. Back in a moment. The formula is simple. It's hard work.
Hard work, Fred. It
and why
hasn't
the
changed.
Bruins came out so listless, so lackadaisical is hard to figure.
Well, you come out a little downtrodden, you believe the press, and you say to yourself, we were robbed of that game, at least one of them in Montreal. You got to forget the pity. Go out and play hockey.
Shots are 20-13 Montreal, but the Bruins back in the game on Bob Joyce, 2 scores. The last one from Ray Bork at 17:52. This may be icing, but it's not. Janney able to get it. Janney drops it off on the other side. Carter there. Carter check. Losing. Ludwig trying to pop it out. Does. Flipped it in the air, but the Bruins carrying the play. Gainey is after Bork. Bork can't set up Carter. 40 seconds left. But the Bruins have demonstrated they're right back in the game. Galley, a good hit. Trying to set up the play. Galley battling for it. Can't get it. And the Canadiens, Carbonneau. Broken up by Carter. Sweet check by Carter to Janney. Janney over the line. Broken up by Robinson, who clears it. As the Bruins carry the play. Loose puck now, Carbonneau. Carbonneau back for Gainey. Gainey up the line. Hit by Carter. Held by Carter. Bork gets it away for Neufeld. Neufeld, 5 seconds left. Over the line. The play called offside. Neufeld protesting.
He wants a hooking. He's not going to get it.
Ray Neufeld has been one of the bright notes for Boston with his forechecking and hustling work, along with Joyce, and it paid off for 2 goals by Joyce.
Here's the hook. There's right under his arm. He pulls his arm away twice. Got him up under his arm again. It's offside, all right. Good call there, but yeah, well, you don't want to call those cheap hooking penalties anyway. But when you're a player, You're aggravated.
Calvin gets a shot right with 2 seconds left. And the fans applaud the Bruins as they finally came to life, sparked by Neufeld and Joyce, and close within 1. Montreal 3, Boston 2. Intermission highlights in a moment.
Again, as the Bruins came back late in the second period, down 3-0, 2 goals by Bob Joyce has the Bruins back to within 1. It's not exactly the same situation, but it is mindful of their situation against the Buffalo Sabres when the Bruins played so badly for the first game and half of the second game, and then all of a sudden turned things around, and as you well know, came back to win that series in 5 games over the Buffalo Sabres. Shots on goal now through 2 periods of play, 20 for the Montreal Canadiens and 13 for the Bruins. It was 11-5 Montreal in the second period of play. Of the 8 division finals so far, 5 have been decided by 1 goal, and only 1 has been decided by more than 2 goals. And of 6 games Canadiens have won in the postseason, 5 have been by just 1 goal. Claude Lemieux now with David Shea. Dave?
All right, Tom, thank you. Claude, I guess you guys must have known that a 3-0 wasn't going to do it.
Well, we played well, and all of a sudden we start doing fancy plays and bringing the puck back in our own zone, and that cost us 2 goals. So I think we'll go out there in the third period and try to do exactly what we did in the first period. In 15 minutes that brought us a lead, 3-0, so we got to keep on doing the same thing.
Your coach says that you guys drive him crazy when you get a big lead. He'd rather see the game be tied or maybe a 1-goal lead because you guys play your best hockey then, but when you get comfortable, things go down the tubes.
Well, it seems that that's the way we've been playing all year, and when we get 3 or 4 goal lead, we seem to slow down a bit and try different plays. But we're the kind of team that's got to put the puck in deep and go after the defense and make simple plays, puck at the net, and it cost us, like I said, a couple goals in this game so far, and we can't afford to give them any more life. So we have to go out there and play well again.
All of your team members, Claude, yourself included, have expressed respect for the Boston Bruins, but with the kind of season you've had as a team, do you have a feeling of invincibility that somehow, some way, you guys are always going to end up winning the hockey game?
Well, I don't think there's any team in the league that can feel that way. We had a great season. We played well against them all year long, but we know that if we want to win this series, we have to work every shift, and we can't expect to play on our success. We have to go out there and prove every shift that we deserve to win, and we're going to do things that's going to give us the win. So, I mean, we had a good season, but there's a lot of things that we can do to win this hockey game.
I think when you play your best hockey, it's when the theme of the game is chippy or physical, or you're allowed to stir things up. And this has been a relatively quiet series, including tonight's game. Does that take you out of your game?
No, I like it this way. We got rid of guys like John Kordic, and they trade Miller, and that kind of settle as far as fighting, and has been no fight so far, I guess, and there's nothing going on after the whistle either. So it's a clean game, but it's a rough game. It's tough along the boards, and everyone's playing physical, and that's my kind of game. I'm not a fighter, and I'm not out there to fight either. So I mean, it's a good game. It's physical, and it's the way it's been going on for 3 games.
I remember a couple of years ago when you guys won the Cup, you played a big role. In fact, I think you may have finished second to Patrick in the MVP voting for the playoffs that year. Have you changed much as a player since then?
Well, I think everyone matured after playing in this league for 3 or 4 years, and I'm maybe just a bit quiet as I was before. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble as much as I was getting in trouble before, and with the referee and with players. Sometimes the team doesn't do anything good to the team, and nothing for myself. So you learn little things, but I'm still the same kind of player. I have to be aggressive. I have to be the first man in the corner, bump and grind, and give my best shift if I want to play. I mean, I'm not a fancy player. I'm not a skill player. I'm just a guy who goes out and work hard every shift, and that's how I've been playing for 3 or 4 years.
Claude, we thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Claude Lemieux, our guest. Tom, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And some guests on Bruins hockey receive a gift certificate from Carton's Jewelers, who feature Tissot watches. Tissot, Swiss quality time, and Carton's, the best the world has to offer at 15 convenient locations throughout New England. Bruins and the Canadiens through 2 periods of Game 3 now. Montreal leads it 3-2. I'll be back. We'll check highlights of that second period when Bruins hockey continues on NESN, your New England sports network. Gillette, antiperspirant and deodorant. Anything less would be uncivilized. At the end of 2 periods at Boston Garden now in Game 3 of the Adams Division Championship Series, Montreal leads the Bruins 3-2. Given that score, what might be a very significant stat. In the 10 games that these two teams have played, regular season and playoffs before tonight, in 9 of those, the Bruins have scored 2 goals or less. Vital stat indeed when Montreal gets their second of the game on their first shot of the second period. Mats Naslund with a backhander, 2-0 Montreal. Very little offense for the Bruins. Matter of fact, one of Roy's toughest saves came when his own man, Peter Svoboda, put the puck on his own net. Montreal's Mike McPhee in the box. Bruins don't score, 0 for 10 on the power play for the series. And a couple of minutes later, one more Canadiens.
Over the Boston line to Naslund. Naslund able to penetrate, move behind the net. Circle back for Svoboda, and he scores. And it is 3-0 Montreal.
Well, the voice tells the story of the moment, huh? But it was shortly after that the Bees finally hit for one.
Yanny at the line to Joyce. Joyce trying to move in. Can't. Neufeld to Joyce. He scores! Bobby Joyce from Ray Neufeld. And the Bruins get on the board.
Second to the playoffs for Bob Joyce. Got the crowd back into it, and before the end of the period, Joyce again.
Up the board, stopped by Cork. Cork drives it in and drives! A goal by Joyce to make it 3-2!
It looked like it was out of range, but the Bruins have come back to make this one very interesting. It's 3-2 Montreal after 2. Sox and Royals at Fenway tonight. John Dobson and Floyd Bannister, the starters, pick up action in the Sox third, and it is 2-1 Kansas City. Bannister in trouble for the 3rd time in the ballgame. Boggs at third, Burks at first for Mike Greenwell. Gator had him loaded in the first and bounced into a double play. Almost does it again, but he'll beat the throw this time. An RBI. Sox and Royals tied at 2 in the 3rd. Fans at Fenway are loving it. Royals 4th inning. That man, Bo Jackson, again at 3rd on a single, a steal, and a Sox error. Jackson will float home on a wall double by veteran catcher Bob Boone. The Gator finally runs the ball down. Jackson is home easily, and the visitors have the lead 3-2. And who says 41 is old? Check out Bob Boone, the Kansas City catcher. Takes off for 3rd and is in there safely. The 6th steal of the night off Rich Gedman. Boone, however, died at 3rd, and in the 6th inning, the Sox trail the Kansas City Royals. It is 3-2 at Fenway Park. We have at the Garden tonight a 3-2 lead for the Montreal Canadiens over the Boston Bruins. I'll be back and we'll check the scoring summary and update you on the situation Pittsburgh and Philadelphia at the Spectrum as well when Bruins hockey continues on NESN. Montreal Canadiens once up 3-0, now just 3-2 over the Bruins, and we're just a couple of minutes away from the start of the 3rd period. Another Game 3 in the Patrick Division at the Spectrum in Philadelphia tonight. Pittsburgh had taken a 1-0 lead on a goal by Mario Lemieux in the 1st period. Now in the 2nd, Dan Quinn of the Penguins scores on a power play to make it 2-0 Pittsburgh. Keith Acton will match that one for the Flyers to make it 2-1, and Brian Propp of the Flyers ties the game at 13:27 of the 2nd period. That makes it a 2-2 hockey game. But Jack Callender of the Penguins puts in the rebound of a Mario Lemieux shot. Lemieux now has figured in all 3 of the Pittsburgh goals. This one at 18:15 of the 2nd period. Penguins with the lead 3-2. And that is the situation at the end of 2 periods. They, like our situation at Boston Garden, about set to go into the 3rd period. The Blues and the Blackhawks tomorrow night in the Norris Division Championship Series. They are even at 1-1, and the series will be in Chicago for games 3 and 4. And further west in the Smythe, Calgary leading 2-0 over the Los Angeles Kings take that series to Los Angeles. That will be tomorrow night as well, Game 3. Montreal ran off to a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period of play on a goal by Stéphane Richer, and then things looked really bleak for the Bruins when Mats Naslund scored 1:59 into the second period, and then Peter Svoboda at 13:32 to make it 3-0 Montreal. It wasn't long after the Svoboda goal, though, less than a minute. Svoboda at 13:32. Bob Joyce scored for the Bruins at 14:09. Immediately the crowd was back into the game as the Bruins were finally on the board, and then it was Joyce again at 17:52 to bring the Bruins within one. Joyce's third of the playoffs. Ray Bourque had the assist on the second Boston goal. The shots on goal now are 20-13. Montreal at the end of 2 periods of play. The Bruins, who were once down by 3, are now within 1. Third period action. Fred and Dave and Derek.
Thank you, Tom. Right here, Bobby Smith's caught. You know, he's back in the... Up here, the puck is going to come out to Craig Janney, who's going to take it along the boards. Very casual, this man right here. Stéphane Richer just kind of sweeps at him, hopes he's going to knock it to his defenseman, who's forced to stand up. Janney, however, goes along the blue line. Right there, goes through Richer. Now you got Bobby Joyce going wide. He's got it here, and it gets checked. Pops in the air. Neufeld takes it off the leg. Nobody behind the Montreal defense. Joyce going to find it backhanded into the corner. Much too casual, that Montreal forward line and defense. Just looking to hope the puck comes to them. They quit skating a little bit.
Set to go. Janney with Neufeld and Joyce. Back to Bourque. Off now on the right to Janney. Janney wraps it in. Left point, Peterson, a shot deflected but knocked away by Ludwig. Never reached Roy. Puck break 3. McBee over the line. In deep. Puts it right in the corner for a save. Stolen by Stuglin to McBee. A turnaround. A save by Lemon in front court. Bourque for Neufeld. Neufeld over the line with Janney. Fires! And a save for Watt. And he had plenty on that. Another drive in. Loose the puck. Joyce going for the hot trick. And it went wide. Neufeld in the corner. Plays it deep. Pokes it around the other side. And McBee missed it. Neufeld with it. To Kelvin. Back to Neufeld. A shot. Neufeld almost tied it up. And he's got a hard shot. Center ice, Joyce. Joyce and Neufeld have been outstanding. Canadiens trying to come out. Crowder checked the man. Naslund clears it away. Keane wraps it in. Down goes Burridge. A hit from Keane. Wesley starts back. Kelvin. For Crowder. Crowder for Wesley. Wesley fires it in around the board. Crowder going. Svoboda up the boards. Still a battle in the Canadian zone. Burridge digging. Sweeney and the Canadiens fire it out. Icing. Shoebottom is in the lineup. Canadiens lead 3-2 back at the moment. Ray Neufeld. And he unloaded this one. And Roy got it high on the shoulder.
Boy, he unloaded that one, Fred.
Wrapped another one, too. The draw, Svoboda chased, works it up the boards. Carpenter almost kept it in, couldn't do it. Carter knocks down a man. It is Keane. They go bumping at center ice, and it's tied up on the boards. And the rest of the Bruins have, looking at Pat Burns, picked up the intensity of Joyce and Neufeld and Randy Burridge, and now they're all even firing away.
What you can watch on your screen at home, and you see the puck get shot in around the boards. If the goaltender doesn't come out and trap it, right here's, tell you, that's dangerous right across that crease like that. Now there's a little tip in back out front. Ray Bourque right there. The Bruins can't slow down when they're going for the puck. They got to go to the, keep skating, make contact while in motion. They're trying to go in and pick it off and stand still with it.
Just saw a second shot by Neufeld. He unloaded 2 in his last shift. In deep, Neely is hit by Gainey and knocked askew. Puck cleared to center ice. Svoboda now with Green. Back was Svoboda. He is buried by Neely. Play continues. And Svoboda lost his helmet. Over the line comes Galley. Galley clears it in deep. Carpenter going for it. Carbonell around the boards for Galley. Galley kicks it ahead into the corner. Neely trying to get it. Carbonell there. Now behind the net. Around the boards it goes to Gainey. Gainey is checked by Bork. The puck kept in by the Fighting Bruins. Svoboda to Gainey, and he's forced to clear it. The pressure all Boston. The Bruins trail 3-2. Talvin moves it in. And shivers Svoboda with a check with the stick high. Joyce, who has the 2 goals, fighting for it in deep, digs it. Out for Janney, a shot, scores! Janney from Joyce to tie it at 3.
Ray Neufeld, what hard work! Ray Neufeld, Bobby Joyce behind the net.
I like the patience of Joyce, Derek, the way he waited until Janney broke free.
There's Neufeld with his man. He got it to Joyce behind the net. He goes in, he digs it out, pushes in man. Joyce squeaks loose. Svoboda, no helmet, can't pick up anybody. Janney out top of the circle, protecting the line and all alone. Big goal.
Well, they got to realize a couple of rookies there. Janney, the goal, Joyce, the assist, and the game tied at 3. Shades of Game 2 against Buffalo.
Looks like it at this point. Now, hopefully it's the same result.
23. The way the Bruins were playing up to the point where Bobby Joyce scored the first goal, Derek, down 3-0, they just didn't look good. All of a sudden they get a break. The puck bounces right. Joyce stays with it. They've got a goal. He gets another one almost the same way, and all of a sudden they've got the momentum.
The Bruins forecheck. Chelios trying to move it out. Check. Fighting for it, Neufeld, and Janney into Joyce in deep. Trying to cut in front. And the puck loose to backhander, and it's tied up by Roy. Now knocked away. Around the boards. Great hustling work by Neufeld. Janney trying to come in front. Blocked. And Chelios checked by Joyce. They battle in the corner. Bobby Joyce has led the Bruins. Chelios winding up. He has 2 goals and an assist. And he is digging all over the Canadian zone. Now Neufeld. Heading through and Robinson. The puck cleared out. Robinson was tagged by Neufeld. Away comes Richer. Richer for Corson. Blocked and cleared out by Burridge. 3-3 the score, and the fans have gone wild. Burridge in deep. Check. Sweeney behind the net. Broken up by Robinson. Burridge on Chelios. Jammed up. Robinson is hit in deep. Crowder with it. Trying to put it in front. Tries it again. Sweeney, a backhander. Went wide. Popped in front. Bruins keep it in. Crowder to Burridge in the corner. A lost helmet, Chelios. The Bruins hitting everything in sight. Behind the net, it is Burridge. Back for Bork. Bork a shot. Block. Goes wide. Chelios can't clear it out. Peterson kept it in. Crowder is hit. Strudlin breaks in the center ice. And the fans are going wild.
Now this team is playing desperate, Derek. This is the way they should have come out playing.
This is playing desperate, right.
And everybody jamming up in front of the Canadian bench.
Canadians resorting to the physical here.
Crowder's holding his face.
Crowder got hit.
What a night for the rookie Bob Joyce. 2 goals, 1 assist. Janney the other scored as the Bruins come back from 3-0. It is tied at 3-3. And Keith Crowder is still in the ice, and
Crowder got it in the nose.
I gave a commercial.
Here's a check that starts it all, really. Gets things going. Can't really. Peter Svoboda says, uh-oh. Knocks him right out into left field there. Now Neufeld on Robinson, who never gets hit. Just got out of the way of it. Robinson felt it, though. Well, it says Joyce nails Portnoy.
They're playing Bruin hockey.
There's a bend.
Well, if you're going to go down, you're going to go down playing your style of hockey.
Go down, grinding, hitting. Make sure that they know they've been in a game.
Greg, you hit it on the nose. This is
right there, Keith Crowder. Corson should have got the extra 2.
Yeah.
Corson and Crowder, 2 minutes each roughing. The goal, Craig Janney from Ray Neufeld and Bob Joyce. And what a pickup Ray Neufeld from Winnipeg for Mo LeMay was. He has been a standout with Bob Joyce. Bruins drive it in. Svoboda gets it away to Green.
Montreal trying to settle this down now.
3-3 the score. Canadiens work it up the middle to Skrudland. The long shot, the save by Lemlin. Lemieux, a drive. It goes high. Around the boards, Svoboda at the point. Gets it in for McPhee. Shot. Scores! McPhee and a screen of players makes it 4-3.
There he is, the Bruin killer. Well, he had been quiet this series until just
Mike
now.
McPhee.
Wonder if Claude Lemieux got a piece of this, Derek. The way he came flying out of the crease.
Well, Reggie can't see it. So here it comes through everything.
That's McPhee all the way.
Hits his arm. Tough break. Bounce back. Keep going. You cannot let that bother you. The momentum is still the Boston.
Janney is out with Joyce and Neufeld.
Montreal goal scored by number 35, Mike McPhee.
Mike McPhee, the scorer.
Assisted by number 25, Peter
Svoboda.
And number 32,
and Lemieux get the assist. And the Canadiens go into their control style. The Bruins forechecking desperately again. The puck is flipped out to the Boston end. Back for it, Ray Bourque, icing on the play. 14:10 left, third period. The Bruins have to dig in again. That was the lone assault by the Canadiens in the third period. And again, they have been opportunists.
Well, there's a penalty coming up here to Shoebottom.
For interference. And a power play, Montreal. 4-3 Montreal, back in a moment.
Larry Robinson laid a wicked cross-check on a Bruin. Nothing called. That tells you something's happening. Shortly thereafter, Shoebottom is getting a penalty for that. Now,
Koharski called it a slash.
He called it slashing. He blew the call. But there you have it again.
Reading lips, I think Terry O'Reilly was paraphrasing Jim Schoenfeld. I'm not positive. He wasn't happy. I know that.
And a power play, Montreal. The Canadiens lead on the goal by Mike McPhee.
Montreal going to take their time. Get this a big power play for them.
And Naslin with it now. Checked by Burridge. Back to Chelios over to Svoboda. And driven in. Smith. Checked by Peterson. Bourque trying to move it out. Stopped by Smith. Smith knocked down on the play by Bourque. Fought for it. Down goes Smith. Bourque trying to tie it up and does. Boy, Bourque really mauled Smith. Got away with a little extra roughness and Boston short-handed.
Smith hooked Sweeney just prior to that. Certainly no worse an infraction than Shoebottom on Skrudland. He let that go as well.
1:29 left on the power play for Montreal. The Bruins battle back from a 3-0 deficit on 2 goals by Bobby Joyce. And Joyce set up Janney for the equalizer. The Bruins dominating. And virtually one shot by Montreal. Mike McPhee in a screen of players, and it's 4-3 Montreal. Total shots are 22 Montreal, 16 for Boston. Bourque gets it away, and this otherwise to Brickley. Brickley broken up by Svoboda. Now Now Chelios winding up. Misfired. He had trouble with the puck all the way.
Chelios keeping his head up. A lot of hitting going on now.
Peterson able to clear it. Brickley down on Chelios. And the pass goes around wide. Naslund starts it out. Now to Chelios. Seems to be the quarterback on the power play. Drives it in around the boards. Brickley trying to move it out. Kept in by Svoboda. Up the boards for Smith. Smith in the corner. Naslund digs it out. Svoboda. Chelios. Svoboda. In for Naslund. Naslund puts it in front. Block. Loose. Behind the net. Naslund check. Broken up by Brickley. Brickley can't clear it out. Smith. Svoboda. Svoboda keeps it in. Smith behind the net in the power play. 4-3 Montreal. 14 seconds on the power play. Svoboda a shot. Blocked by Reggie Lemlin. Brickley can't clear it out. Telvin finally does.
I think Wesley was the one that actually blocked it, Fred. He's limping off.
He got knocked down in front of the net, wrenched his knee, I think.
Steal by Neely. Over the line, the shot. Deflected by Robinson. Off the backboards, Robinson holds it. Heavy collision. Chelios was knocked down on a Neely check. But the Canadiens able to work it out. Lemieux over the line. The shot deflected wide. In the corner, Bork knocks down. The forechecker Strudlin takes over. 11:40 left third period. The Bruins trail 4-3 after rallying from a 3-0 deficit to tie it. Carter with Neely offside. It is 4-3 Montreal. We're at Boston Garden.
Derek, this hit by Ray Bork kind of typifies the way the Bruins have played ever since falling behind 3-0. You've been there before. The question is, why did it take falling behind 3-0 to start playing the way they intended on playing from the get-go?
Well, what happens, Dave, you're down 2 games to nothing. You come out and you're in your own building. You don't want the Canadiens to get a couple early ones on you. That translates into thinking and standing still. It doesn't help your skating and your checking, your hitting or shooting. Consequently, the Bruins are now skating, hitting, checking, and shooting. Now it's a whole different game. Now they're back into it. They got the flow. Their confidence is going. You get 1 or 2 by Roy, we can get another one. We can get another one.
They need another one.
They certainly do.
Calvin's pass is broken up at the line by Walter and cleared back in the Boston end. Around the boards, Janney able to tap it out, but Canadiens control. With it, Robinson. Wraps it back in. Calvin up for Neufeld. Neufeld out for Joyce. Galley, they get mixed up. Joyce, check, now gets it. Trying to move in, he's over the line, he's moving in, the hat-trick bid, the save by Roy. Joyce, a fantastic game. Moved right up the left wing boards. And the Canadiens forced to just clear it out now. The puck is following Joyce, staying with him, and he's been hustling and digging. He's replaced by Burridge now. An errant pass, Ludwig picks it off, clears it away now to Gainey. Gainey wraps it in. Backward Wesley. To Neufeld, who's figured in a couple of the goals. With his hustling, digging, forechecking. Robinson clears it out, Bork with it, right back. Drives in, save a walk, rebound Green. Green checks immediately. Chelios trying to clear it. Wraps to the corner, Burridge goes in, gets it. Sweeney, Crowder, kicked into the corner. Green and Crowder go for it. Crowder right on him for Burridge. Burridge in deep, behind the net. Sweeney hauled down, Burridge with it, behind the net, trying to stuff it in, it's blocked. Trying to poke it back, it's blocked by Richer. Again, the Bruins on fire. Kept in by Burridge. Burridge off in the corner, Crowder hauled down. Sweeney with it. Back to the boards, Wesley blocks it, keeps it in. Gives it to Sweeney. Sweeney checked in deep. Fighting for it, kicks it free, goes behind the net. A penalty on Montreal. Sweeney's shot missed. Delayed call. Wesley keeps it in. Now it is touched by Corson. A power play coming up for Boston. Again, the Bruins dominating.
Bob Sweeney wisely keeping Glenn Wesley away.
By Randy Burridge.
Tom Larson, NHL update.
Fred, in Philadelphia, the Flyers have come back to tie that game with the Pittsburgh Penguins at 2:31 of the third period. Dave Poulin, Philadelphia, scores it. Barrasso with a good save on Ron Sutter's breakaway, but Poulin with a rebound to tie it 3-3. This update brought to you by Budweiser.
Thank you, Tom, and the penalty is on Richer for holding.
10:29, Stéphane Richer. The Bruins got 9:31 left. Big opportunity right here.
Well, the story of the night, Bob Joyce. He's playing left wing like Rocket Richard used to play right wing.
Boy, is he playing some kind of hockey.
And played in pain, too.
Yanni is out there with Joyce and Daly.
He's a man possessed.
Bob Joyce has 2 goals and an assist. Yanni is waved out. Bork is arguing. Carbonneau on the draw.
Yanni's waved out. Give it to Ray Bork.
Ray Bork going to take it. Yanni's still upset. Carbonneau wins it. Chelios can't clear it. Telvin kept it in. Tries. It's blocked. Gets it again. Holds along the line. Now into Janny. Janny has scored a goal. Holding. But Telvin, the drop. Michael Telvin!
And Neely.
Right, Neely deflected it.
Neely deflected it in front of the net.
Big drive by Telvin. He had this shot the first time, elected to pass off to Janny. When he got it the second time, he let it rip. This was a dot. Neely will get it halfway through on the slot. Right there up the shaft.
Right there. Cam Neely, big goal. Montreal Canadiens are pouting a little bit at this point. They really thought, oh, we got a goal back, all right. It was kind of an unearned goal. They don't get to stand up very often. Some reason, a screenshot. You know, the scoring's long from over in this game.
The Bruins on a power play. Well, the last half of the game has belonged to Boston, but it's tied at 4. 9:13 left. Third period. Telvin with it. Over to Wesley. A lead in. Johnston hustles in on Chelios. Gets a piece of him. Neely really tags Chelios. Puck is cleared out. And with it, Carbonneau able to get it over the line. Broken up. Portnall going for it. And matching penalties here. Carbonneau going out for 1. And a Bruin with him.
Carbonneau trying to argue. He said, hey, I'm on the receiving end of this thing. What are you sending me for?
Chris Chelios thought he was going to get killed.
The goal by Cam Neely at 10:45 on a power play from Michael Telvin and Craig Janny. And Janny has picked up a goal and 2 assists.
Watch Chris Chelios come around the back of the net. His eyeballs light right up with Cam Neely coming in like a Amtrak train. He goes, oh my God.
Like
oh boy, here I go. Boy, I tell you, I wouldn't like to see Neely coming to me either. Pick him up and slam him down.
How you can leave your feet.
Shades of Hulk Hogan there.
Here's Greg Johnston going in on Guy Carbonneau. This is what precipitated
This is what I mean, Dave. You cannot have the 2 guys hitting. You can't. Wesley left it alone now. Courtnall comes in and gets it. You can't over a hit. 1 guy does the hitting, not 2.
4-4 the score. Carbonneau for roughing. Johnston for high sticking. And the faceoff in the Boston zone. 8:47 left in the third period. 4-4. The Bruins trailed at 1 point, 3-0. Yanni is out there with Neufeld and Joyce. And Joyce and Janny have figured in 3 of the 4 goals. A couple of rookies on a starry night against the Canadiens. And Neufeld up on the right side. Not a rookie, broken up on the pass, but he's played a standout game. Bork able to keep it in on the right wing boards, goes deep, puts it in front, knocked away by Robinson. Good play by Bork. Bork in deep. Checking Svoboda. And Joyce with it. Coming out for Janney. Janney can't get it. Robinson takes over. Around the boards on the other side. Neufeld right there. Wraps it in again. Joyce goes on Keane. Now the puck to Smith. Smith can't clear it out. Janney kept it in. A shot. A save. Roy. And right at the net was Joyce, but no rebound.
Great play. Janney picks this pass out of the air. Keeps it in. Joyce going to the net. But the Bruins got the half.
Derek, you talked about Janney and how elevated his play is in the playoffs. He's been incredible.
He concentrates right there. Pick the puck out of the air. Now he keeps it in. He waits. He fakes the shot. Slips it into Joyce, who just doesn't get to deflect it. Patrick Roy gets to smother it. Big shift, though. Bruins moved up. They've thrown caution to the wind and gone for it, and that's
the way to do it.
They're skating now. Montreal will very back on their heels.
Bruins 7 shots, Montreal 3 in the third period. 8 minutes left. Chelios, harassed by Burridge, gets it away, and it's broken up by Crowder. Bounces for Lemieux. The long shot, the save by Lemlin. That was from center ice with plenty on it. Now around the other side, Wesley going for it. Up for Burridge. Cleared out. Back goes Skrudland. Chased. Puck cleared away. Covered by Wesley. Wesley off for Crowder. Crowder for Sweeney. Over the line with Galley. And here's Skrudland and Crowder going at it. Separated by the linesman. They'll be going out. 7:32 left. 4-4 in the third period. And we'll be back at the Garden in a moment. No penalties called. Crowder entangled with Skrudland. They go to the boards, but no penalties called.
There we go.
If there are no penalties, then why blow a whistle?
Why blow the whistle? He's going to say it was offside.
Carpenter is centering Carter and Neely. Terry O'Reilly has changed his lines. He's put Janney with Neufeld and Joyce. Chelios drops it in. 4-4 the score, third period. Up for Neely. Neely can't clear it out. Green pass stopped by Bork. Bork breaks 3-on-2. Bork leads the rush. Carter with him. Back for Carter. Turn shot. Save. Carter. Quick shot. Bork hustles to keep it in. Canadiens work it out. Behind the play, a Bruin entangled. It is Carter. The puck cleared back. No whistle. Skrudland and Carter in a wrestling now. Here comes Neely, right wing side. A drive, a save, Roy. Ludwig wraps it out. Too far ahead of McPhee, maybe. Should have been icing. Anything goes here. A lead here. Missed, no icing. The Roy misses it behind net. Robinson checked in deep. Fighting for it, Joyce. Neufeld. Back to Galley. Galley. A shot blocked. Popped in the air. Taken by Neufeld. Neufeld trying to make the play. Check. Robinson with it. Away to Walter. Walter forced to clear it. A lead now. Courtnall going for it. Lemlin. Courtnall got it and scored. The Bruins missed it and Courtnall scored to make it 5-4.
How do you like that? With 6:08 remaining, a fluke. Reggie missed it.
I'm surprised Reggie came out like that.
I don't know why he did.
Courtnall was covered.
I think he anticipated Courtnall beating Galley.
Galley does a good job and gets
Why?
back on
Come
it.
out there.
Reggie caught in no man's land and says, oh, no.
He doesn't want to be there, but he doesn't slide enough because he doesn't want to take himself out of the play.
Reggie Lemlin has been stoning Courtnall throughout the series, but Courtnall gets a goal, and what a big one with 6:06 left. One of the few chances for the Canadiens. I mean, the last shot appeared to be McPhee's. That gave them a lead. The Bruins came back. Uphill all night long for Boston. Galley breaks center ice, lost the puck. Check. And now Sweeney takes over. Bruins stunned by that goal. Sweeney clears it up, stopped by Svoboda. Wraps it around the boards. Naslund checked by Galley. Galley kept it in, and now Naslund able to clear it out. 5:30 left. And the Canadiens lead 5-4. Courtnall getting the score. In deep, Burridge trying to get it. Can't. And away comes Naslund. Long shot and a save by Lemlin. Up it goes to Crowder. Crowder to Sweeney. Sweeney center ice. Checked on the play. Wraps it in. The Bruins are changing up, but they're down to 5 minutes left. Trailing 5-4 as Naslund wraps it into the Boston end. Incredible Montreal with 6 shots in this, the third period. 2 of them in, and McPhee and Courtnall. Johnston races down the left wing side. In deep by Green. Neely fighting for him. Johnston too. Neely. Johnston comes off the corner. Calvin. Calvin holds. Forced to clear it in. Fighting for it, Johnston. Carter. Johnston gets it. Johnston trying to make the play. Back to Bork. Quick shot. Save Roy. It's right on Roy for the stop.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by your New England area Century 21 offices. Put your trust in number 1, Century 21. And by Nissan, inviting you to test drive the new 240 SX, the sports car built for the most important race of all, the human race. And by Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Centers, because family spirit is what Sullivan is all about. And by Chevy dealers of New England. Start where more people end up. Buy a Chevy today.
That was a big play by Ryan Walter. Tolvin had that teed up from about 40 feet, and Ryan, a controlled slide that forced Tolvin to hold on to it. Then Ryan's in position to make a move on it.
Tolvin was drifting in that direction. Had he been drifting the other way.
Janny Joyce Neufeld, a standout line. The shot by Wesley blocked, and Gainey able to clear it out. Knocked back in. Chelios takes over. Chelios over the line, drops it in deep. Galley behind the net. Talk about a snake-bitten team, Boston Bruins. But partly their fault for lackluster play over the first half of the game. Then the great rally twice. They're not out of it yet, of course. As in the center ice, Gainey breaks it up and pops it back in. A mix-up between Wesley and Lemlin, and Courtnall scored. At its center ice, Lemieux drives one in. Rebound is McPhee. A save again. That was labeled. Neufeld away, center ice, Janny. Janny over the line. Trying to move in. Broken up. And the puck cleared away by the Canadiens. Back to their solid defense now. And mentally, of course, the Bruins hurt by the very freakish goal. Well, let's say it's freakish. Courtnall made a fine play. Here's Crowder over the line. Crowder. The Burridge, the backhand, the save by Roy. Not hard, but on the net. Behind the net. Burridge digs it free. Burridge for Talbot. Talbot a shot. It is blocked by McPhee. Goes into the stands on a face-off call. 3 minutes left. 28 shots, Montreal. 24, Boston. 5-4, Montreal. A big goal by Courtnall.
Very big goal. A nice clearing play. I'd like to see the replay of it, see if he was onside. Great pair of legs on Russ Courtnall. Gary Galley had a foot race with him. I think Reggie has estimated, is Galley going to catch him? Gary Galley didn't have as far to go, so he cut the angle away from him. Reggie came out, uh-oh, I'm caught. And he tried to poke check him, and he didn't want to poke check Galley, and Galley was trying to tie him up. Unfortunate.
Johnston is out with Carter and Neely. 3 minutes exactly left. And the Canadiens lead it 5-4. Talbot and Bork there. Skrudland on the faceoff. And Robinson to Svoboda, who works it out. Deflected into the Boston bench on a face-off call, and now down to 2:54. Time running out on the battling Bruins, who put up a gallant fight, but not to be.
Yeah, clock is against them now. There's Reggie. I know he's upset with himself for not staying in the net.
Carbonneau against Johnston. And the Canadiens less than 3 minutes away from going 3-up in the series. Knocked into the stands again. And that killed off a second. Down to 2:53 now. Now what a night for Bob Joyce with 2 goals and 1 assist. And Ray Neufeld is moving out there now. Harry O'Reilly figures with all the delays they're rested. Janny, Joyce, and Neufeld. It's been a sparkling line. Janny, goal and 2 assists. Joyce, 2 assists on a goal. A couple of assists for Neufeld. The puck cleared in, and back for it, Ray Bourque. Bourque off for Janny. Janny drives it in. Going for it, Joyce. Back to Telvin. Telvin a shot wide. And the ricochet is all the way outside. Back for it, Bourque to Telvin. Back for Ray Bourque. Now to Telvin. He wraps it in around the board. Joyce, Chelios scoring for it. It's up to Keane. Keane ices it. Bruins will take that. Telvin back there quickly. Hustling work by Corson as he tried to get there first. And the face-off now with 2:04 left in the Canadian zone. Neely's power play tied it from Telvin. And back came a mix-up for Boston. It seems in the series a couple of lapses at inopportune times. The Canadiens capitalize, and that's the game.
That seems to be the way that the Montreal Canadiens, when you played like that all year long, it just seems to be that way. You have the confidence. They panicked. They started giving the puck away. The Bruins climbed back into the game. Never did get the lead, however. This chance is going to say hello to boys from Lowell over here. With the Bruins on.
Sweeney on the draw to the right of Roy. 2:04 left. Galley and Wesley at the points. Corson ready to go out at the point. Walter on the faceoff, and he's been very good. And this one fought for, and it's Crowder in the corner. Crowder trying to make the play, can't do it. Sweeney is flattened. Wesley keeps it in. The Crowder all the way across. Galley, shot! Save Roy on the net. Line drive. Carbonneau has lost his stick. Galley fights to keep it in. A pass in front. Block. Crowder, a shot, and it's wide. Punches wide. Corson with it. Trying to clear it out. Block. Kept in by Wesley. Wesley moves up. Fires it into the corner. Galley hustles in. Battles to keep it in. Back at the point. Kept in by Sweeney. Check. And knocked away by Carbonneau. Kept in by Burns. Burns. The Crowder. And it's wide. Beautifully set up. Pass in front against Sweeney. Wraps it in front. It's blocked and covered. The Bruins all over the Canadiens. Doing everything but scoring. And it is still 5-4 Montreal. Now Terry O'Reilly might consider taking out his goaltender with the face-off in the Canadian end. And
too much time left, Fred.
But the Bruins are really surging and checking and fighting and battling and keeping the play in the Canadian end. And now Ray Bourque comes out with Michael Telvin.
Bobby Sweeney at the blue line keeps it in. Right there with his leg. Randy Burridge gets it around, finds Crowder. There's the shot. Keep it down. Got a little too high.
And Ray Bourque back at the Boston bench again for a conference with Terry O'Reilly. Russ Courtnall getting the goal that right now is decisive. The shots are 28 Montreal, 26 Boston. The Bruins proving that Roark can be beaten. Bob Joyce did it twice. And Craig Janney, then Neely. Deflected shot by Michael Tellman. But Montreal, when they needed goals in the third period, and one of their occasional sorties, Mike McPhee got one, and Russ Courtnall got the other. Well, that's what you pay off on. Janney is there.
That's what you need, Fred.
Lemlin stays in the net. 1:22 left. Joyce Neely on the wings. Puck batted around on the boards, cleared out by the Canadiens. Back for Tellman. Chased by McPhee. Drops the Bourque. Bourque snaps it in. Neely hustles in. Battles Ludwig. Kicks it free. Now to Joyce. Joyce check. And the puck is cleared. Well, if that isn't icing, I don't know what is.
He didn't call that icing.
Here comes Bourque. Drives it in. Lemlin is out. 52 seconds left. Nobody in the Boston net. Back for Tellman. Tellman back in for Neely. Neely checked by Ludwig. Now Chelios with it. Up the boards. And Tellman can't keep it in. Puck loose to Janney. 38 seconds left. Janney to Burridge. To Joyce. Over the line. Stolen by the Canadiens. This clear is wide. Will be icing it. Bourque can get there. No icing.
Oh my God, no icing.
Puck cleared in by Joyce wide. Roark. Chelios. Bill behind the net. Neely had it, lost it. Kept in by Joyce. In front for Burridge. Burridge drops it back to the point outside the line. Wesley with it. Broken out. The game is over. Montreal wins it. They go up 3-0 in the series. And the Bruins never played better, and we have to qualify it. The last half of the game.
Last half of the game, they played superb hockey.
The first half, they were dismal. They were down 3-0, came back, tied it up a couple of times, tied it up at 3-3, tied it up at 4-4, and Montreal wins it. And so the final score, Montreal 5, Boston 4. Stay tuned next for the Bruins Instant Replay.
Game 3 is done. Montreal wins it 5-4, and the Canadiens now lead the series 3-0. I'm Tom Larson. This is Nesson's Bruins Instant Replay on your New England Sports Network. For the sixth time in the 80s now, the Bruins and Canadiens are meeting, and Montreal has won by a sweep in 3 of the previous 5. In 84, 86, and 87, could do it again with a win on Sunday. Let's go down to the Garden now and Dave Shea.
All right, Tom, thank you. Mike, we've been this way before. As you mentioned, you weren't quite this tired the last time we went this route, but a scary moment for you folks tonight.
It was. All 3 of the games could have went either way, and you have to give them a lot of credit. They were down 3-0, and they kept fighting back, and it could have been anybody's game again.
What were you guys thinking at 3-0? I mean, you obviously led up, but what was in the back of your minds?
Well, I think it's a little natural to sit back and start playing a little bit defensive when you have a 3-0 lead. And I think when they made it 3-1, then 3-2, I think we started thinking about the Buffalo series where they were also behind by 3 goals and came back and won 4 straight. So we're just fortunate. They came back and tied it up, and we're just fortunate to have gotten 1 extra goal.
Well, you were the one that gave your club the first of 2 leads in the third period after they tied it up. Let's take a look at it, Mike.
I think somebody shot the puck and went around the boards to Peter Sabota, and I just came down the boards and yelled to Peter to give it back to me. And I just got in a position to shoot, and there was a really good screen in front of the net. I think Claude and Screwy were both in front of the net, and I'm not even sure if Lemlin saw the puck.
Yeah, I don't know if he did or not, but it was a clear lane. Claude moved just in time to let the puck through.
Yeah, he did a great job in front, and that's what we have to do against Reggie. He's played really good against us in the past, and you have to get in front of him and screen him and get the rebounds. He lets a few rebounds out too.
Ursa Bruins came back. Neely on the power play goal. That tied it at 4, and then Russ Courtnall. He's been a gem for you folks in the postseason. That was a great acquisition.
He's been unbelievable. He he came to us, I think, 15 games into the season, and he scored 21 goals for us, I think, the rest of the season, and he's been playing great in the playoffs. He's just pumped up, and he's a great guy to have on the ice. He backs the defenseman up. He's got so much speed, and he's got a great shot also.
Well, they finally figured out how to get a few by Patrick Roy, but you guys finally figured out how to open it up against Reggie as well. Was this a little more wide open than you anticipated?
Well, usually, especially playoff games against Boston, it's always been low scoring, and tonight 9 goals were scored, but for any goaltender, any good quality goaltender, you just got to keep shooting the puck and going in there for rebounds.
All right, Mike, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Mike McPhee, Tom, back to you.
All right, David, we'll have a look at all of the highlights from the third game of this year's Adams Division title series. That's coming up next when Nisson's Bruins Instant Replay continues. Final again at Boston Garden tonight. Montreal 5, Boston 4. 5, Boston 4, and a strange one it was. The Bruins didn't appear interested for a while, and the Canadiens appeared well on their way to a Game 3 waltz. But when the Bruins decided to play it, it got kind of interesting, huh? Goaltenders for Game 3, the same as they had been in Game 2. Lemelin for the Bruins, and yep, Patrick Roy, who has been amazing in there again for the Montreal Canadiens. It's tough to play catch-up against Canadiens, but the Bruins would have to because Stéphane Richer scores the first, 1-0 Montreal. The Boston defense not what it had been in the 2 earlier games in Montreal. Shot situation in the first, it was 9-8 Montreal after 1 and a 1-0 lead. The Bruins hadn't yet awakened. They would later, but when Mats Naslund put this one home for a 2-all Montreal lead, the Garden was quiet, monastic. Best Boston chance to score came when Peter Svoboda almost put one past his own man. Roy there to prevent some serious embarrassment for Svoboda. McPhee in the box. Bruins 0 for 10 on the power play. A couple of minutes later, things really got serious.
Over the Boston line to Naslund. Naslund able to penetrate, move behind the net, circle back for Svoboda, and he scores. And it is 3-0 Montreal.
Sad situation right there, and no indication of the way the game was about to turn, because here come the Bruins.
Kenny at the line of Joyce. Joyce trying to move in. Can't. Neufeld to Joyce. He scores! Bobby Joyce from Ray Neufeld. And the Bruins get on the board.
And the crowd back into the action. Joyce having the game of his career. He got the first one, then got the second.
Off the board. Stopped by Cork. Cork draws it in. A scores! A goal by Joyce to make it 3-2.
Score at the end of 2 periods as the game that appeared out of reach wasn't. Third period, and the Bruins climb back even.
Joyce, who has the 2 goals, fighting for it, and he gives it. For Janney, a shot. Scores! Janney from Joyce to tie it at 3.
Shades of Game 2 at Buffalo. Joyce, by the way, an assist on the Janney goal. Canadiens weren't quite ready to roll over. Mike McPhee puts them back up 4-3 at 5:20 of the third period. But now, even the Bruins' power play was working. Their first of the series.
Now into Janney. Janney has scored a goal. Holding for Talbot, the drop. Michael Talbot!
And nearly deflected it.
And there were 14,000-plus believers at Boston Garden, but a rare mistake by Reggie Lemelin. Russ Courtnall pretty well taken care of. Lemelin comes way out of the net. Courtnall slides it in for the go-ahead goal. 5-4 Montreal. Reggie knows he had done a no-no. Down to the final minute, Bruins pull Lemelin but never develop an attack. Canadiens hold back. A ferocious Bruins comeback bid to win it 5-4 and go up in the series 3-0. Still to come on the replay tonight, Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson with their final thoughts for the evening, and to look at highlights from the Spectrum, Game 3 between Philly and Pittsburgh, and highlights too from Fenway Park, where the Sox and the Royals opened a weekend series. You're watching Bruins hockey on NESN. Of the night, and Dave Shea asked it a little while ago, how come it took so long for the Bruins to get into this game? Because when they did get interested, eventually they made a heck of a game out of it, but not before they had dug a 3-goal hole for themselves, end up losing it 5-4. Well, back once more to Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Tom. I'd prefer to talk about individuals. We have to forget the score. The Bruins are in deep, deep trouble, down 3-0, but I'd like to single out Bobby Joyce, Ray Neufeld, and Craig Janney, and they certainly played above and beyond.
Well, you had some situations where the guys were a little bit tentative. They're back on their heels a little bit. They're down 2-0. You don't want to come in here and make mistakes. So you start to think, and when you start to think, you slow up. You just seem to be standing still. The Montreal Canadiens were happy with that tempo. They went along, very patient, got 2 early opportunities, put it away. The Bruins were down 3, and then they said, hey, this is enough of this. You know, we got to go take it to them. We got to skate, we got to hit, we got to shoot. So you got Neely hitting bodies, and you had Joyce was really hitting tonight. And Neufeld was hitting, and Janney, and then things started to come their way, Fred. They started getting the opportunities. Montreal standing around, keeping their head up, not looking to look down at the puck and go with it. They were saying, oh, we're going to get hit here. And then they started to think about it a little bit, and the Bruins got back in the hockey game. Then they tie it up, and then McPhee gets a big goal. An individual effort, a smart play by Svoboda, and a screen shot. And then an unfortunate break at the end with a dump pass, just looking to clear it out. Courtnall with the Jets, he snuck in behind everybody. Gary Galley caught up to him. Reggie Lemelin didn't think so. Bang, you got a 5-4 loss.
Well, 3-0, Patrick Roy proved to be vulnerable.
Very vulnerable, Fred, and it's a matter of just getting the puck, you know, just wherever you are. If you got the puck, don't think of passing it. Get the puck on the net. Anything can happen. All goaltenders are vulnerable if you put it on the net, because even if they don't handle it cleanly, it's going to be bouncing around. Maybe somebody can't get a handle to it, and you can dive, you can poke it in, slide it over the line. And those are the type of scratching tooth and nail the goals the Bruins got to get. You can't be looking for the pretty play all the time. This is a game that's made from hard work, and your breaks come from hitting and struggling and scratching. And the Bruins scratched and clawed their way back into this game. Unfortunate to lose it.
Final score of 5-4. Here's Tom.
All right, Fred, and next on the replay tonight, a look at action from the Flyers and Penguins Game 3, and from the Sox and Royals out at Fenway 2. Final at Boston Garden, Game 3, Montreal 5, Boston 4. Canadiens lead in the series now 3-0.